Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Welcome. This is the Jeranism show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the Speaker's Corner, where we speak truth, seek truth. Speaker's Corner, yeah, they see through, we see you. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner. 3 minutes hit the spotlight. Speaker's Corner, where 3 minutes gets your mind right. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner.
Welcome, everybody, to Speaker's Corner. Give me a second here to get set up. We're a little bit behind. We just did a long show with Mr. David Weiss and some app updates. Hopefully you got to see that. If not, watch it later. And you can enjoy it. And I want to make sure that my pop-out chat is working. We are also live on Rumble. Yes, that's right. You heard it here first. We are live on Rumble if you want to go over there and check it out. There's usually nobody there, but I see that I'm getting like 1,000 views, so worth having it over there. And yeah, so we are definitely.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let us get ready to rumble. What's going on here? What's happening on the YouTube? Well, hold on. Something wrong here? Why is it all big on YouTube? Maybe it's just me who's seeing that. I don't know what's going on. Let me bring up the chat and see if anybody else is seeing that. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Doesn't look like anybody's. Hey, someone needs to fix the resolution. So the weird thing is that if you go to Rokfin is correct. Is it not? Let me check and make sure. Yeah, Rokfin's correct. What's up, Mark? Rumble is correct. YouTube is not correct. So how the hell would you fix that? I have no idea. There's only one stream, so I can't. What would the reason for that be? I don't know what to do about that. I've never seen that happen. Edit settings. I don't think it's in here. Public, no. Huh. I don't know what to do about that. Let me try and change scenes and see if that helps it at all. Let's try. It could be scary. You might just see my big face all big in the camera. What do you see? Let me go check it. Is that just my big old dome? Hello, everybody showing up here in the. So it's correct everywhere. It's correct there. It's correct there. And it's in 3D mode. How would I fix that? Give it 1 second. We're going to see when my face comes on there. If it's broken, though. Wow. I have no idea how to fix that. What am I going to do about that? You guys aren't going to be able to see the show very well. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Has anyone ever seen that? Anybody in the chat could help me out on that? I've never seen that before. So I wouldn't even know where to begin. Trying to think what could be doing that. What could be doing that? What could be doing that? Let me try a few things here. I just don't know what. Oh, this is good. This is wrong. If you hate rap music, you don't have a good sense of rhythm. It's probably the problem. I don't know what's wrong with that. Okay, that's ready. I don't know even where to begin. Like I said, if you don't believe me, go check out Rokfin. There's people at Rumble. YouTube jammed up 3D. Has anyone ever seen that before? I've never even seen that. Like, I don't even know where to even change it or anything. I don't know. We're going to have to just live with it, or else go to Rokfin. It's a good way to get people to go to Rokfin. If you go to YouTube, you'll see that it's like zoomed in, but there's, I only send out one feed. So there's only one way, one stream going out. So YouTube picked it up wrong or something. Oh, wait, maybe it's in the back room of YouTube. Let me check something real quick. Stream settings. It wouldn't be in here. Analysis, viewer activity, stream health. Stream is healthy. What would be causing them to hit play here? I have no idea what to do. Yeah, I guess I just have to leave it, and I'm not going to. I wonder if I turn it off and back on, that shuts down the show. Huh, okay, well, I wish I could tell you guys what to do, but I can't. I would just say watch it at Rokfin is probably your best bet. Or Rumble. Rumble.com/c/Jeranism, or just type in Jeranism in the search and you'll find it. But there's no way for me to fix that. Is there? I've actually never heard of that happening. Let me just go to my settings real quick. But I know it's got to be the correct resolution, or why would two of them be correct and one of them be wrong? Where is that at? Right here. Okay, that one. Yeah, no, it's correctly scaled. I wonder why they would miss that. I can't think of how I'd fix it. Yep, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Sorry, YouTube. It's gonna be get the shit end of the stick today. Is it their connection? I don't know. It's just usually that happens like, well, it's just a scaling problem, right? So I would just scale down my video, but the problem with that is that it's correct. My video is correct. That's why the two other places are correct. I could make this really small and make it work on YouTube, but do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do it. I have to do the whole thing. No, we're not going to do it. Sorry, that's just the way it goes. We're going to have to live with it. Let me think. Is there anything exciting going on? Tomorrow we've got the Jeranism show, 3 p.m. Pacific. Be here or be queer is what I've heard, which not that there's anything wrong with that. You want to do with other men behind closed doors. That's your disgusting business, not mine. Just don't bring it around schools or me or children or families or that kind of thing. Keep it to your disgusting selves. All right, let's go to number one person on the list. Who do we got here? We've got Daly, Eric, Carrie. I don't know. I can't read the whole thing. The letter U, something. What's up, boss? Go ahead. You're on.
Hey, are you there?
Absolutely.
How's the audio?
You sound fantastic.
Great. I am fantastic. I so much enjoyed you and Dave Wise talking about the app. It was just tremendous.
Good to hear. All right, good.
I know it's going to blast out all kinds of new folks to get on there. Everybody wants the answers to those questions. I got too much stuff to cover here. Start my time.
It has begun.
All right. Look, I just want to tell everybody listening how easy it is to do a call-in, and everybody should try it once because it's the simplest thing, and you can do your own background. It's just all you got to do is click and talk. It's so cool.
It is very easy.
Very, very easy. I'm a low-tech kind of old guy, but I figured it out.
StreamYard makes it pretty easy for people.
Exactly. All right. Look.
Yes.
I'm looking at a note here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to go to. I got this story. It probably pissed Weiss off, but I already told it to him at the Flattoberfest 2022. It's pretty funny. It's related to the app review show you just did, right?
Okay.
So I'm low tech, and I finally got an update where it would. This was a couple of months ago, last year, where it would customize the referral code, right? So I waited till I could figure out something kind of clever. I didn't want to have a goofy referral code. You can see what it is now, right? Are we there?
Yeah, water.
Yeah, that's because of what you did a show about water, so I had to go to that. But when I first decided to change from the number to a custom code, I thought about it for weeks, and then I got a minute and 8 seconds. I wanted something really clever. So here's the thing is, I always had the worst time trying to remember DITRH. I always said DIRTH, which is an actual word.
Right, dearth. That's what we call them, dearth even, right?
Well, what now?
So we even call them dearth, which is
well, I
DIRTH.
don't know. I just know I had a lot of trouble trying to remember it. I used to listen to his content every chance I could. And I had the worst time trying to remember that. And so one day I was listening to him and looking at my app, and I realized other people are like me and they can't remember to say DIRTH. No, DITRH. So there are other people saying DIRTH like me by mistake when it should be DITRH, right? If you get what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Dearth is a word, and DITRH is just an initialization. It's called an initialization. So we know what it means. But so I changed my custom code to the misspelling, DIRTH, which is a,
I like it. It's funny.
It worked. I got many subscribers, and I talk to strange folks on the street all the time, but I never get past just telling them flatearthdave.com. So I don't, anyway, I did an update and it got all screwed up. And then I saw him at Flattoberfest and told him this story. He was a little mad, but he laughed and he straightened out and got me a new re-login because I screwed up the update. And, but I had like 8 or 12 referrals on that misspelling of DITRH. And I've only told a couple of people this story. I hope Weiss is listening. It was a lot of fun. When I told him at the Flattoberfest 2022, he laughed, but he was really kind of angry.
I'm tripping out because it is in 360 mode on YouTube. You can actually spin the camera around and see some craziness. You see me from like above down. You see me on the moon or something. This is crazy. I must have selected it or something. I went and looked in the back room and it is selected as on and you can't turn it off now. Never.
Well, I'm in this VIP studio, so I'm not looking at YouTube.
When you go to YouTube, you'll laugh. You can move the screen around, and you can. It's just in screwed up mode, but I can't change it now. It's already set.
Suits me fine, but I had a good story, and you just jumped over it.
No, we heard the story.
All right.
You mean the story about you and Dave, and that you went and
No, I used the misspelling. I got a lot of accidental referrals, and he couldn't let me keep that because it would go on the leaderboard and it would be misspelled.
Right. Well, I think that still think it's funny that you did it.
It's very funny. I love to tell the story, but I can't tell it very much. But now I told it to your audience.
Well, thank you. Anything else you want to get in before we let
That's
you go?
it. We're good.
All right, thank you, boss. Let's go
Bye.
to Traber7 in the house. Traber, what's up? Traber?
Sorry, man.
There you are.
I was doing other shit. I didn't think I was going to be next.
You're quick.
How's it going?
Great. Thank you. Yourself?
Good.
Awesome.
So,
good to hear.
I'm going to start with a joke again. So,
okay. Hopefully it's a good one.
First of all, happy holiday. You know what holiday it is today, don't you?
No. Oh, I hate that holiday. It's gay.
No, it's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
So I said it was gay because
that holiday is gay.
I
Okay.
actually I was never a Star Wars, Star Trek fan. So to me, it's
me neither. But I love a good pun.
It's a good pun. It's a good pun. Go ahead.
And speaking of puns, here's another one. Okay. So you know how and why we celebrate 420, right?
Yes.
Well, we should also celebrate April 22nd because it's 422.
All right, I like it. It's a good play on words.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So now you got to get baked 2 days a year at least.
Okay, I'm down for that.
What the heck was his name?
That'd be funny if somebody only got high on that one day a year. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that's stupid. Well, I know one guy that really gets stoned on that day. The other days, he's just like a couple hits and he's done.
All right, makes sense.
He gets really toasted on that day. Oh, I heard it from the Deftones guy. He was on Strange World. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got that. I just kind of stole it. And what else was like? Oh, Brenda, the guy we love to hate. You know, I know he's kind of a fuck up and he gets on your nerves and stuff. But he's kind of like the JR character, or I don't know. I haven't watched TV since I was a kid. I don't know who the villains these days are, but the guy you love to hate,
People
it's
always
kind
say
of nice
that.
to have him kind of mix things up a little bit.
Right. People always tell me, like, you want to have it on the show. You want to keep him on the show.
I think so. Yeah, he's got my vote.
Oh, boy.
And more Globers, too. I wish more Globers would come on. Not with nonsense, but with
something.
Something with some depth to it, something we could discuss. So today there's a full moon in Scorpio today and a lunar eclipse everywhere except like the United States, I guess. But get this, and I got this right.
Oh, we won't get to see it at all then, huh?
No, we don't get to see it this time. But listen to this. So the lunar eclipse full moon in Scorpio, the eclipse is not what some call a blood moon, as it will not turn red. Instead, the moon will dim slightly as it passes through a lighter part of Earth's shadow called the penumbra. Now, I challenge you and all your listeners to cast a shadow of any type and show me the lighter part of that shadow. Is that retarded or what? There's no light part to a shadow. A shadow it's black. And when it's a blood moon, that's really what got me started on flat Earth years ago, was the blood moon. I'm like, wait a second, Earth's shadow is red.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's stupid as hell. And that's what really got me going. So
now you got me thinking, I've really got to think about this. I don't understand how you can have a eclipse on a full moon, and why would somewhere not be able to see it?
Pretty much everywhere but here. Yeah, like Africa, India, everyone. But
why would that?
It's weird too. I've been trying to wrap my brain around it all.
I'll have to play with that a little bit.
I was going to give you some gravy, and I couldn't come up with anything. I'm like, no, it's just a lie. That's it.
Right.
You can't come up with any physical, sound reason for that. That's stupid.
No, there's no way. Where's your hat? Put your hat on if you want to keep going.
Damn hat. It's in my truck.
Okay, we'll let you because we know you have one.
It's not a big deal. I didn't really have much anything else. I could make fun of some space stuff though.
So
do you know why the $6 billion company known as Universal Picture movie intro features a fake cartoonish globe Earth?
Please tell us.
Because it has to be. Huh?
Okay.
Remember Rob Simmons? It has to be. They have to fake it because if anyone could have a shot of the globe, Universal Pictures would have it.
Right.
They got the money. They got $6 billion. They're a huge company.
I showed the other day on my show. Did you watch? I was like showing all those pictures of Saturn. They have like 1 billion pictures of Saturn. It's like, where's those pictures of Earth? We can't get pictures of Earth like that.
I know. I've been saying that for years. I've been screaming it for years.
Insane.
If we could go to the moon, there'd be a camera because the high ground is what everybody wants. If we could have an overall view of our world, there would be a camera on the moon. That'd
especially
be
because it would be pointed at the Earth at all times, because you would be the same side of, you wouldn't have to like, oh, well, half the time it doesn't show. No, the moon is always facing the Earth, so your camera would always face the Earth.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's perfect facing all the time. You'd never miss anything except momentarily during a few eclipses or something, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that would be sweet. But no, we're never going to see that. And another thing about
I do have an idea about that. Oh, go ahead. I'll say my idea for off your time.
The dark, empty void of space. I've always had a problem with that because it's full of suns.
Yes.
Where's all the darkness? If those are all suns, the night sky would be illuminated. I mean,
should be
brilliantly.
Euler's paradox, I believe that's called.
Euler's?
I think that's the name. I could be wrong about the name, but it's the paradox. Try EULER. Euler's paradox.
EULER.
I could be wrong about that.
Like Eilier.
Is that it or no?
Okay, I'll look into it though.
Oh,
yeah, that's always got me. And another thing, I had David Weiss on my. Oh, David, if you're listening, I'm going to have you back here this fall if I can. I had live stream and it's got well over 2,000 views, which is a little high for me on my live streams anyway. So I definitely want to have him back. But it's also opened up the gate to a whole bunch of haters, globers or whatever. And one of the things I've heard several times says astral travelers, and I'm not going to mention any names. They mention a lot of prominent names, have allegedly seen the globe Earth. How do you explain that? Now, here's my theory. Possibly, since we live inside a toroidal, we live on the plane, maybe it looks like a ball from a certain, I don't think it does, but I just wonder, because I kind of want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Some of these people, I've also studied some of their work. Astral travelers supposedly have seen a globe Earth. What say you?
I don't think they see what they think they see. I think that people are going to see what they believe. What they get this. If somebody was born in Hawaii, oh, no, let me give it a different one. If somebody was born in Alaska and they never had a TV, never had photographs, never had any magazines or something, could they dream about a beach? No.
Pretty tough. I've seen it first.
Yeah, I don't think so. So I think that we tend to create in our minds what we've seen or what we've been shown. And so if you are going to astral travel, it's not going to take you somewhere that you've never seen. You wouldn't even know what a flat earth was. You would see it be completely, because you've never seen a flat earth. So you're going to see the globe in my mind, I guess. By the way, it's Olber's paradox. O-L-B-E-R. I had to look
O-L-D-E-R, like older?
O-L-B-E-R. E is an elephant. Olber paradox. The paradox that is also known as the dark night sky paradox is an argument in astrophysics and physical cosmology that says the darkness of the sky conflicts with the assumption of an infinite and eternal static universe. In the hypothetical case that the universe is static, homogeneous at a large scale, and populated by an infinite number of stars, any line of sight from Earth must then end at the surface of a star, and hence the night sky should be completely illuminated and very bright. This contradicts the observed darkness and non-uniformity of the night. So,
yes, it most certainly does.
Yes.
And all common sense.
Agree.
Hey, just a quick reminder, I got Karen B on my channel on the May 7th. That's Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Please come on over and join us. And a shout out to Sarah and her family. I know she's out there watching.
Good people.
That's it, man.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks for your time.
We've got up next Sacred Knowledge. Sacred One.
Yo,
how are you?
What's good? How you doing?
Another day, another dollar.
Word. Shoot. So before I go on, I think of like a million things that I want to say, and then when it's time to go on,
You're like, I have nothing.
I have nothing. Yeah, I give up. Like, I don't even know what the hell to say. But how are you doing?
Doing fantastic, thank you.
Good, man. That's good.
And yourself?
So much good. Like,
can we start your clock?
Start it up. So,
do you want stars in the background or no stars?
I don't care.
Okay, we're gonna put stars just because I feel like doing something different. All right. Oh, maybe there is no stars. There is no stars. Never mind. They've been erased.
Yeah, no, stars is cool or whatever. I was actually wanting to see if I could present, but before I wanted to say maybe a couple things.
Okay.
Because just one thing real quick. I guess I'll throw this out there. Because Dirth, he knows about solar panels too. So, and I got some solar panels, and I noticed that when the sun is far in the morning, because it has very low power. And as it gets closer, the power goes up, and then as it goes further away, the power,
makes sense.
As it recedes,
as we'd expect, yeah.
The amount of energy it's getting goes down. So that's like a flat Earth proof to me that showing that the sun, and you could feel the heat come with it and go away, right?
Yep, I like that one.
But I wonder what he thinks about it. Is that could be? Actually
I'll ask him because I'm writing that one down. Okay, good one. What else we got?
If I present, let's see if I can present because now I'm on my.
Let's try it.
Is it share screen, video file, or slides? I don't remember.
It doesn't say entire screen. What are you trying to share?
Share screen, the whole screen. I just want to show some pictures.
What are you on your tablet again?
Yeah, I'm back on my computer again, so I can do it. Share screen.
When you hit present, there should be an option for share screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Then select the picture of your screen and then hit. You have to actually click on it. And then it'll bring up a little thing that says share screen. You hit
It's got a few choices. Speaker's corner. Should I choose that one?
No. Choose the one that says entire screen.
There it is. Okay.
And then click it so that it puts a blue line around it. And then there should be a button. There you go.
Okay. I hit it.
You are all set.
Word. So my screen's showing?
Yep. We can see it.
All right. I have so many pictures that it's crazy. Like, how can I show them all? But, at least I could show a couple. So get you an idea, because I said, can you see it? Are you looking at what I'm showing?
Yes, a little tunnel away or something. Okay.
People on YouTube can't see it, huh?
Yes, they can.
They can?
Oh. Yep, there's a delay. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the screen.
No, I thought it's messed up. Remember on YouTube?
Oh well, YouTube's all okay. I see what you're saying. Yes. No, they can't see it.
But I was saying that the flood waters used to not be there. And the continents were built by the civilization was something that we can't fathom. So when you go to the shores, you'll see like, this looks like, what do you call it? whatever. Somebody might mistake that to be a cave, but it's actually a pocket of survival because the pockets of survival is. I wanted to talk about that a little bit, but I also wanted to show the different phases that the brick goes through when they get the heat damage. Now you can see right here how it's all perfect in one spot, and then all of a sudden it gets all messed up, right? So that's damage from heat, okay? And that's how we know we can see the different phases that it goes through. You understand? Because I'm trying to show you guys that the mountains are melted; they're just completely melted, but we have pockets of survival within it. You know what I'm talking about? Are you able to see what I'm showing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really understand what you mean. So that picture you just showed,
Okay.
isn't that just a little alcove? Like, what do you mean? People survived in there?
Pockets of survival are.
I understand what pockets of survival are. No, don't answer me that. Go back to the picture you just had up. I'm not talking about pockets of survival. I understand that, but I don't understand that one that you just showed right there. That one.
Okay.
So that's just a little alcove. Nobody could live in there.
No. This used to be this is a destroyed piece, and the picture is a bad angle and stuff. So, but what I'm showing you are pockets of survival of the architecture. The mountain was a gigantic. It was a beautiful piece of art, basically, and it's a destroyed. Like within the mountains, you'll see a lot of this stuff. You'll see like this is a pocket of survival. This brick, and see the mountain, because the whole thing used to be a beautiful building. We're inside of a building that got destroyed. Okay, when you're inside of it, like let me just give you some more examples of pockets of survival. Hold on. I'll zoom in so you can see the devil's in the details. You see how the building's perfect down here. It would be perfect all up here. This is all destroyed building up here. So we call it a mountain. That's what we're trying to tell you guys, that there's enough of these pockets of survival that we could get into more. Now I just want to show you a couple.
But
other
by
things
enough of
too.
them, you don't. I mean, they're not everywhere.
They are literally crazy ones. Like once you know what you're looking at, like at first looks like a mountain with a building down here. If you only knew that this whole thing was that what you see down here, it blends right into the mountain. You don't build something like that. You would never build that. Why would you build? Let's build a building right here. No, that's a pocket of survival. This whole thing used to be and look at you can see like a dome type of thing. So we look at the Grand Canyon. That's all a destroyed civilization. And these were giants that built it. That's what we have. There's still perfect architecture that shows us how big these giants probably were.
Yeah, but if you go inside that building, all the other doors will be small.
Look at how tiny the people are. Look at how big this door is.
Yeah, no, but
no. You go inside. The whole thing is like this. Like it's kind of like this. Look at you go inside, and you'll see even giant. There's giant beds. There's lots of proof of the giants, but we don't get to see it too much. Smithsonian hides it.
But what time are you? Okay, so the Smithsonian hides giants that are 10 to 12 feet. How tall is a giant that would go in that door? 80 feet?
Yeah, they got really big. If you know, they put this stuff in cartoons. So I was going to tell you, watch Robotech, because I used to watch it when I was a kid, and that shows talks about the lost technology, the giants and their lost technology, and it shows the giants, and like that's a good visual. So here's a pocket of survival, just like a piece of architecture within a mountain. That's a pocket of survival, right there. That the giant, it's a good visual to see what the giants might have actually looked like and with their technology around them, because they put the truth in the places where you would least expect it, which is in movies and cartoons and stuff. But destroyed civilization everywhere. Now we say sandwich, but the word sand is like saint or sacred or sand, deserts, destroyed civilization, because that's like another. I just noticed things like that. Like
okay, 30 seconds.
Okay, maybe a couple more pockets of survival. Up here, we see this building. It's built into the mountain. The whole thing. This is a pocket of survival up here. Imagine what it used to look like. You can't imagine it because you've never seen anything like that. I don't know what it could have.
No, but it couldn't have been. The bottom couldn't have been damaged by fire. That fire goes upwards.
The whole they leave. Okay, what I realize is they left these pockets of survival. Look at what it did to this castle. Like, look at, if you zoom in on it, they could have did the whole thing and turned it into one big mountain, or then eventually destroyed it completely if they wanted to, and they do sometimes. But what did you say right now? Because I wanted to answer that. What
I
did
don't
you
remember.
ask me?
The fire goes up.
Oh, I figured out something about these pockets of survival. They could have left no pockets of survival, but they had to tell you the truth about everything. They had to let us know about our civilization, and they're also letting us know alchemically we can get it back. You can, because I saw like the vision of it coming back, and what it was trying to tell me is that, you know, since knowing about it, knowing that the perfection that we once were, we can get it back, even if it's just on an individual one-by-one basis. Like you can transform your soul back into the type of souls that we were back then. You could be a god again. You could get it back.
All right, where can people find you? I can't let you keep going. I mean, it's been
there's a new YouTube channel called Pockets of Survival. You guys can go check it out. That's about melted buildings. Me, don't worry about me. I'm Sacred Knowledge. I'll be back. But go look Pockets of Survival YouTube channel.
You want to find Sacred? He's here every Thursday, right?
All right.
Peace.
You.
All right, we got up next. Oh, the Tony Coriolis is in the house. Tony, let me get your theme song going for you.
Hey.
There you go. You're here now. You're ready. I said you get your theme song playing. Not much. How about you? You missed last week. What the hell's going on?
And the week before, I was at like a 420 show. I missed the 420 and last week. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's just been busy. I don't know. I love these shows and stuff. I actually called into Coffee Talk and Strange World this past week, so
nice.
I've been dying to get back on here.
Okay, we are ready for you. I'm going to start your clock. Hold it. Go.
Okay, yeah. So, Sacred Knowledge, what he was talking about, like, I mean, what would we be trying to get back to? You know, like
giants living in mountains.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I know I go out of town all the time, and there's like little huts and kind of stuff, and there's even exact kind of pockets of survival, like in those mountains, you know, where I go up out of town. I go to like northern Arizona. So I just took a trip with like all the buddies, and I'm just realizing out a lot of stuff, you know, in my life now. So I went up with my buddies who all don't get all this stuff at all. We kind of fizzled our whole group during COVID, and that's when I kind of got really all into this stuff. So now we all went back up. And it's just, I played the Conspiracy Music Guru album, you know, when it was just one of the buddies up there. And he just, for some reason, got so triggered just because it's such a good album, you know. So it just kind of, I realized a lot of stuff, you know, with just people that don't get it, you know, how it's going to be going on forth. By the way, are you going to Vegas, Jaron?
I think so, yep. I think I'm supposed to speak.
Very nice, very nice. I'm going to be there as well. So, okay, I wanted to see, I heard you say in one of the past ones, I re-listened to the past two that I missed. What's your birth year? You say 1980?
Yep.
Do you know your Chinese New Year?
Monkey?
Correct. You're a monkey. I'm a monkey. I'm a 92.
Okay.
12 years apart from you.
Yes.
And then I checked Mark Sargent when I called into his show. He's also a monkey. So we're all monkeys.
All right.
Do you know, like, your...
Can I be a gorilla?
Huh?
Can I be a gorilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any variation of monkey, I think.
Cool.
It works. We're all just team monkey.
Yes.
And we're living in America. America's a monkey country, they say. It's a monkey, you know?
1776 is a monkey year?
1776, yeah, it is.
Okay.
And then so it's 2004, I drive a monkey car, you know? So I'm all into it. It's kind of fun. Do you know, like, the tiger is our enemy? It's 6 years away from your birth year, you know, is the tiger year. That's your enemy year.
So
you heard anything on the correlations?
86 or 74? Well, 86 was the Challenger accident, so I believe that now.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of, like, and I guess it's when you're 18, you know, 30. I just had my tiger year last year. Same with you.
Every 6 years is so 92, 98, that kind of thing?
Well, 92 is back to the, like, good. So it's like the exact opposite of the 12 is your enemy year. And then all 4 years away are your friends. So we're friends with, like, the rat, the dragon, and the monkey. We're all one team.
Very new
we're
to me.
evens.
Very new to me.
Yeah, I like it. And then one last 10-second holler. Sarah said about Paul Simon, the Kodachrome song.
Right.
That is a very good song. I've been all into Paul Simon lately. Another one I'll holler out is Paranoia Blues.
Okay.
So I said going out with, like, my buddies, you know, I'm just, whose side are you on? You know, and it's very well captured in that Paul Simon song.
Awesome. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Thank you,
Peace
Karen.
out. Respect the 3.
Later.
Later.
Fun. Karen B says all mountains are melted buildings is dumb. Well, it certainly doesn't have much to grab onto. I'll tell you that much. If you would have been somebody who told me, hey, some of these used to be ancient structures, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But when you tell me all mountains are, then I'm just like, what do you mean? Why do you have to say all? And if you try and say it's not all, they'll just get really upset at you. So it's like, well, okay. People can believe what they want, but the Sierra Nevadas are right next to me, and I don't think that they were a 13,000 foot tall, strip mall. But hey, I've never been inside the mountain, so how would I know? I'm just guessing at this point. Let's go with Jay. Welcome, Jay.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hear you great.
Hey, I don't think the last guy was right because I'm 88 and you blocked me on your Telegram.
Sweet.
But yeah, so he's wrong. But I got something that I want to.
Who'd I block on my Telegram? Jay?
I'm Davis, man. I donated to you and DM'd you, and you called me F face.
I don't remember.
And I was like, whoa, this guy was like my hero.
And then
he woke me up.
You went and you told a bunch of people about it.
Dogged on me.
Yeah, I remember you went and told you got what's her name, Peggy Hall, to stop wanting to speak. Smart move.
It's like, damn, dude, why would you do that? You were my hero, but you still are because you woke me up, man. So appreciate that.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So I got 2 sons, man, and they're 9 and 10, and I'm catching a lot of shit because I'm telling them the truth, right? But I don't really care because in the end they'll thank me later. So what they keep trying to ask me is like, how do we prove it? That we're not on a ball. So I heard that caller last week. He said, what about the rope? Like, I got money, man. So like, I also told you about that Russian submarine. Do you remember when I said, hey, like maybe I'll get a Russian submarine and we can like go under the ice wall? I know that kind of sounds crazy, but like I want to kind of fund some of this experiments. So I'll get to the point, man, is I got money. If you wanted to unblock me, then I can kind of help fund some of these ideas. Why can't we get a rope and like find a place and see if the rope gets wet with 2 boats? There's got to be a way that we can stretch the rope out and I can fund it.
There's not. You have to. Everything has sag, no matter what. It's required. There's no way to ever tighten something so it doesn't have sag, unless you're talking about over 10 feet, but not of any. We need it to be at least 2 miles. Which is just not possible.
So can't we like find a place where like there's an island and then we can put a rod in the ground and like measure it and then go onto the island across the way and put another rod down and then winch it?
Yeah, you'd have to have something that could winch that distance and have no sag, which you could do it with like some sort of monofilament fishing line, but they've tried it and it keeps breaking before it ever gets close. But hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I mean, I would love to see somebody try it. Mitchell from Australia tried it. He said it kept breaking way before its test strength. So,
well, hey, like keep talking about this, man, because I don't know how to get with you guys, but I kind of stay anonymous. So I'd be Cash Apping the money because I run a business. So I kind of woke up a couple years ago because of you, and I was like, shit, but I got to keep my thing going a little bit.
Well, I don't remember what I blocked you for. I just know the aftermath of it, but I will look back at my Telegram and see what it was that you're basically making it sound like there was no reason to block you.
There wasn't no. She was calling me a troll, and I was just like, no, I'm not trolling. I'm trying to like get to the point. And literally, I went into that Telegram with like full focus on helping and not creating chaos. And she was a bitch, like straight up.
Who's she?
Deserved. Whoever blocked me, the moderator, I think she had like red hair or something like that.
Okay.
And like, I'm telling you, man, she was like power tripping, and I just DM'd you just be like, yo, she's actually causing people to get pissed, and we're all on the same team. And you were like, who are you? Like, I know her, I don't know you. I'm like, and I'm not even trying to sound like I'm crying right now, but like, I was just like, shit, she needs to get put back in her place because she's like acting like she's got power, and we're all on the same team. Like, we're against the controllers, and she's just trying to like silence people. Like, there was a guy in there, man, that I had a lot of respect for, that he DM'd me after and was like, yeah, she blocked me. And for him to get blocked, I was like, damn, this guy was like,
what was your name on there? Oh, I see it.
Oh, I'm Dave.
I see
Yeah,
it.
I'm Davis. But I am serious about that. And can I plug something real quick
Yep.
before I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and sorry about all that shit, Jaron. I mean, I did set up that interview with David Weiss and Ken Wheeler. So I think that's evidence I'm trying to help the community. Like I paid Ken Wheeler $500 to do that. I was like, "Yo, can you just
Wait, you
pay for
paid
your
Dave? You
time?"
paid Ken Wheeler $500 to be on the show?
Well, Ken Wheeler didn't want to talk about flat Earth. You
Well, no
know,
wonder why he did it. I mean, people have been wondering why he came on the show and like just placated us, just went along with it. Now it makes all the sense. That's crazy. I did not know that. I
well,
had no
no,
idea.
and it was innocent because I got a lot of respect for Ken Wheeler, man.
Right, so do we all.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, Ken, like,
But he
can I,
went he
like,
went and made fun of it like the next day, and people were very confused. Even I was. I'm like, that's very dishonest of him. But now that you mentioned that you gave him $500, that's why he did it.
yeah, just hear this out, man. So when I'm like on his live streams, he never records them. He just deletes them. So you got to catch them live,
Right,
and you
monkey
can't
streams or whatever.
review them. Yeah, exactly. The monkey streams. And I was like, yo, can you help me? Can you like develop a video showing me how I'm wrong about flat Earth? Because I really want to know the truth, and I can't really tell if I'm wrong or right. Can you help me? He's like, yeah, I'd be interested in that. But it'd have to be after I'm done with YouTube because then they just destroy my channel. I was like, can I pay you for like private information? And he's like, yeah, I'd do that if you want to pay me a few $100. I'd do a video for you. I'm like, all right, how about this? Can I pay for your time and you talk to David Weiss and Jaron Campanella on YouTube? And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't really like debating people or convincing people or that. I'm like, no, it's not even like that. It would just be you going on there and listening to them and then giving a response if you have one. So he's like, I don't know. And then I just started super chatting him like crazy, $100 bills, like to lock him in because I wanted to see what would happen on that interview. And he's like, well, shit, since you did that, man, get me in connection with David and I'll try to set something up. But yeah, so that was me trying to like contribute because I do have money. So I'm trying to like help everybody. I know everybody's kind of wrecked financially because we're trying to tell the truth and we don't get rewarded for that. So anyway, let me just say this, man, is Ken Wheeler's cool. And he honored what he said to me. He really did.
Okay.
And I want to plug Richard Hart, man. Let everybody know that Pulse Chain's about to launch. So if people want to throw $20 in, man, at launch, that'd be cool, man. Maybe it does a 10x or 100x or something crazy, you know. Richard's a trustworthy guy, and Hex did good, and everybody can kind of get maybe $100 in on that. But it should be launched any day now, and I just wanted to plug that and follow him on Twitter. A lot of scammers out there, so make sure you're following Richard Hart.
All right,
and,
I unblocked you, so I'll have to. I don't see our past conversation. I think it deletes when you block somebody. So anyway, we'll just go from there.
Okay, Jaron. Cool,
right,
man.
Peace.
Thanks,
Later.
man.
Charlie, and the Chocolate Factory. How are you?
Hey, Jaron, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good. Hey, thanks for queuing me in.
Yes.
Hey, I got something to talk about, something a little bit different, and it might be something that others may have brought it up before, but I'm looking at it in a different way. I want to talk about cloning.
Okay.
And what I am starting to believe about it, I think cloning is probably a lie and fake.
Okay.
And I start to think about that because remember years back, they mentioned that they cloned a sheep, right?
Yeah, Dolly.
A sheep was cloned. Yeah. Interesting that they use a sheep, right? That's kind of an interesting animal, right? Where sheep's this and that. So politicians and celebrities, they say, oh, they're cloned because they acting different or whatever. Some say it's hypnosis. But I'm starting to think that they're possibly like possessed. A demonic possession is kind of what I'm looking at it this way.
Or like
the reason why I say this is
something?
in the Bible, Jesus, in almost every chapter, that's what he's doing. He's removing demons from people, right? And people acting different, something's going on with them. It wasn't cloning. In those days, it was demonic possession, it seems like. Let's go back to the story about the angels. You know, they created bodies to be humans, right? That's what the story says. And then they had kids that were the giants. but there's no cloning. Only the angels figured out how to make bodies. But people making other people, I think that's kind of weird. And now, when people look the same, well, what about twins, or what about identical twins? They're not exactly a clone. They're still different people. There is some difference, maybe small. They look very similar, but they're not identical. Like we have another example. A father can have a son, and oh look, you look like your dad. When he was your age, exactly like your dad. And they bring those things up, but it ain't the same person, no matter how exact or how duplicate they look.
Good point.
Just some things I was thinking about.
Yeah, I'm not a clone guy, so you're speaking right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think
good.
that.
So I think it's a hoax. There's a lot of people telling lies everywhere, and that's one thing I'm big about. What is the real truth? What are the actual lies? And that's how I look at things, right?
Yeah.
And we're discovering there's a lot of things that are lies everywhere. A lot of lies everywhere.
Almost everything.
Yeah, almost everything. I'm glad you said that.
So let me ask you this though, with 30 seconds left, real quick, if you don't mind. And I don't mean anything rude by it. I'm just going to ask you, if every single thing's a lie, what makes you think the Bible is not?
That's for a longer topic,
okay,
or discussion. But I believe that the Scripture's truth and real.
Okay.
And it could be for a different discussion, how I feel about it.
Yeah,
and,
I just don't
it's
think...
the same thing like a flat earth and a globe, right? Flat earth and globe, once you look into it, and when people, to make this part short, when somebody questions what the Bible says and says, look, it says this, says that, or it's the opposite of what you're thinking. Look at it that way. I question the Bible, it says this, I don't understand it. So it's a conflict, or it's the opposite. You just don't understand it, and then let's go a little deeper to find out. That's how we got into flat Earth.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't understand that really. I mean, when God says He punishes to the third and fourth generation, what do you mean by the opposite of that?
No, well, the opposite is I think that's crazy, or that's what happened. It's the truth,
right?
Whether we like it or not, that's the truth. And of course, some people aren't going to like the truth. It hurts. That's
well,
what
it's not so much that it hurts. It's that I was given morality, and my morals tell me that you would never punish a child for their parents' transgression. So I'm able to look at that and say, that's not God. It's that simple. The other choice I have is to look at that and say, that is God, and I have to deal with the fact that He punishes children, and I got to worship Him still. To me, that seems like that's the trick. The trick is, who's going to fall for that? Who's going to be like, well, I got to do whatever the big boss man says. That's just me. I think people should really think about it. Your morals tell you what's right and wrong, not a book. Your morals do. So to me, I'll go by that way before I'll ever go by, well, the book says it happened and therefore we got to worship God because He punishes children for their great-great-grandfather's mistakes. Imagine some person just being perfect every day, but they keep having shit go wrong with them. And then they find out, oh, it's actually because your great-great-grandpa raped a girl. Oh, great. Now I get punished for that? I mean, it makes no sense to me. That's not a loving, caring, just God. That's a psychopath, really. Somebody who a psychophant, maybe I guess would be a better word for it. I don't know. All right. Final words, or I'm going to let you go.
I'm not geared to explain things now, but I can prepare if you want to have that discussion.
We could have that discussion maybe on a Saturday.
But thanks, Jaron.
All right, later. We've got Hank. Oh, Hank, your thing says device is not connected. You have to either put on... Oh, there he goes. Hank, what's up?
What up?
How are you?
Good. And you?
Good, thanks.
I've called in a few times. How you doing?
Excellent today. Thanks.
All right, so to jump on the bandwagon of the last guy, it's funny because I just found some cloning stuff. So I'm gonna show you two things that you guys have probably seen.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get this going.
You're gonna try and share screen?
No. Window. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'm working. All right, can you see that? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
I see a book. Okay.
Okay, no, that's my next one. Hold on, stop screen. Let me grab the right one. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Here and present. It's coming. Share screen. All right, and all right. So, can you see that?
Yes, you're good.
All right, so I found this. I mean, the Library of Congress
Mhm.
is a pretty interesting resource. I don't know if you've. I'm pretty sure you've gone through it, right?
Oh yeah.
So, why are they having human cloning international law in 2001? And then that's one thing. And then you also have human cloning. So, like, there is something going on. I'm not a big clone believer. I think Witset's all about that. Has he seen any of these? Has he read through any of these?
Not positive. I know he does believe in it, but to me, something like this would be a sign of them wanting you to believe they're way more intelligent and crazy than they are. It gives them a laugh to make people think of how powerful they are, that they're so powerful they can clone humans. So by putting this out there, people then immediately default to, well, they must have cloning, right? But to me, there's just no, there is no cloning. I mean, what? It doesn't even make sense. No one's even ever told me. Do they come out as a baby, or they just appear as an adult? I don't even understand it. Do you know?
That's a good question. I'm on the fence on this, but I know Witset had like a whole episode on it, and he's convinced, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, but again, all the things that I see when people say why they believe it, actually, the last guy, by saying that it could be they're demonically possessed or hypnotized, is I think that that's kind of like what B.O.B. ended up thinking, is that these guys, they see themselves on TV and they're like, that's not me because I wasn't there, so they have me cloned. But it's just because they were either hypnotized or something on that day and they don't remember that event. So then they see, it's a crazy thing. I just, I don't like to give the elite more credit than they deserve, which
parasites.
Yes, they're, yeah. So again, if they could clone, I hate the things that make me throw in the towel. That's one thing I would throw in the towel on. Like I would just quit trying to, I mean, then they win. If they can just clone people, then they just win. It's just like, you can't defeat that. So I don't give them that credit personally.
I hear you. I'd rather not give them credit, but some of the stuff we're finding,
some of the stuff is pretty crazy.
Impressive.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job. The the World Economic Forum, what they were, because I remember people saying there's no way all these countries could be working together, and that was really the thought like 5 years ago, right? And then we saw what happened with COVID, and then you heard about the WEF, and then you hear about these young global leaders, and then you look at it, you're like, wow, those guys set that up so that they basically are in charge of every country now, and they all answer to Klaus Schwab. So it seems like they do some impressive things, but it's through normal channels almost. Like they had to put people in those places by kind of grooming them to be these leaders. Because think about it, like to be a leader, you have to be a loser. I mean, to be honest with you, like you got to be a dirtbag. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein, and all these politicians are just garbage humans. And I think that, they put the right ones in the right places, and they keep getting elected, and they keep getting help from these companies. And then you have what we have today, which is going to be tough to defeat.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. I got a few more minutes. I'd like
to
share one more thing. Okay, this is what books. Have you guys seen this book, which I think I showed you?
And by the way, to the people who say, Jaron, you said you were going to stay to your 3-minute thing, I'm letting people go because I'm talking for the time. But go ahead. The Waters Above the Firmament. Nice. By Isaac.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this?
I have not ever seen it.
So it says the Earth's annular system. Annular means ring-shaped, which is kind of interesting. But this is something you guys might want to take a look at. And then I got one more good one.
Wait, where can we find that?
You guys want to write that down. And then that one's in the Library of Congress. All you got to do is type.
Do you have the PDF? What do you have? You have the PDF?
You should be able to find it.
Oh, okay, we'll find it. Waters Above the Firmament by
I
Isaac
might have it. I have the PDF. I can ship that to you.
If you want, you can send it to my Telegram. That'd be great.
Okay.
Or else I can
find it. Not I can put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll go look for it.
I don't have Telegram, man. I don't like that they attach your phone number to it.
Okay.
And then the last thing is, this is also pretty interesting, and that's it.
Which one's this one? Oh,
this is from, I think, 1900s or something. Beyond the Great South Wall. The Great South Wall. The Secret of Antarctica.
What the hell? Why have I never seen this book?
Pretty interesting. Talking about an ice wall.
Yeah.
Or a south wall. This is when I'm bored and I got some time, and I'm just going through the Library of Congress. I'll type in, like, I think I typed in Antarctic Circle, and this came up.
Okay. By Frank Saville.
So yeah, that's about it. And I got one cool thing too that I don't know if I can find it here. Nah, I lost it already.
Give a second while I'm looking
these up. I don't want you guys
up.
to see my whole thing here.
We do see your whole thing there.
All right, let me see if I can find it. I know. It's all good. There's nothing private here right now. There's a real the ocean. Have you ever looked at the ocean profiles? There it is. Check this out. Thing called every ocean has one: Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. Whatever.
Oh yeah, okay.
The top of this, right? You've seen this? Like they're telling you 4,000 miles from North America to Europe, the sea surface is level and flat, but then Google tells you it does a little arch. Like, come on.
Dumb. All
right, that's all I got. I hope some of that info helped, and maybe it can help in your research.
All right, appreciate it. And I did find the first one, so I'll put it in the t.me/Jeranism links if I can download the PDF. Yes, I got it.
So there's in this chat thing or no?
No, I don't think you can send. I'll put it. I'll give you the link to everybody in the chat. Yeah, now I can give you the link. So here in the private chat, there's the link if anybody wants it, and then I'll put it in the YouTube chat, which is where's my YouTube chat? I lost it. Matt, where did you go? Oh, there we go. So I'll put this there if you want it, and then it'll be in t.me/Jeranism links as well. I'll try and find the other one. Although
I'm actually digging that 360 view. You're on the moon.
Why is this taking so long? Is it huge? Is it a huge book?
It's probably pretty big. I'm not sure. I haven't read through it. I was gonna start skimming it.
Okay. Yeah, I've got somebody who's actually going to do some reading of books for me. I think it'd be good to put on my channel some books that people just haven't had a chance to read that I would read, but it's kind of tedious. And how many pages is this? 442 pages? What the hell?
I'm sure it's a lot of bullshit, but there's probably little gems in there.
Little gems. That's what I've always found in all these old books. There's always these little gems, although it's not flipping through the pages at all. Weird. All right. Well, there they go. Now they're coming up.
You got anyone behind me? I got more to talk about.
No, I got tons of people behind me. I gotta let you go.
All right, peace.
Later. All right, we've got Curvature Nope is next. Curvature Nope.
Hey, Jaren, how's it going?
What's up, boss? How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
I should have made a checklist of things to talk about before I got in here.
Oh, geez.
Everybody got my brain going everywhere. But I try to get some pictures of the stars, trying to observe those. Have not had any luck here recently. I started questioning something yesterday, though. It was a sunny day all day, not too many clouds. So I'm like, all right, the sun's going to go away. I'm going to be able to see a bunch of stars tonight. I couldn't. And I remember my father said something about him seeing some quote unquote condensation trails. So that kind of led me one way.
Okay.
But I wanted to bring up something that people could bring up as a topic to start a conversation with people about questioning where they live. Air pressure. I'm a diesel tech. I fix and repair trucks and trailers, make sure they stay on the road so everybody can go to the store to pick up what they want. But I cannot count the amount of air pressure repair or air leaks that I've repaired. I don't know how many I'll continue to repair, but to have air pressure, you have to have a container. It can't just be air. You can't just go from 0 to negative whatever. Like, you have to have a container to have that air pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be something that people could bring up in conversation and start the path and start a conversation with people about.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good one. Yeah, shout out to Dave and all the updates.
I mean, it's one of the best ones. I mean, needing a container and then also, if it's next to no pressure, it will equalize. So if that were true, then the entire atmosphere of Earth can't exist. It cannot be adjacent to a vacuum, which is what they tell us.
Yeah, and people argue, well, a vacuum doesn't suck. And I don't know where that came from, but that kind of stalls the entire argument. Like, nobody said anything about sucking. We said vacuum, low pressure.
Now I'm tripping out, man. So that book that I just pulled up, I'm just barely just skimming through it, and I hit a part that's talking about right away. It's talking about some dragon coming from the sky. And just today, somebody sent me this video from Jay Dreamer, and I watched it, and it was kind of weird. It was like some old lady who made some prophecy, I guess, about what's supposed to come in the coming ages or something. And she keeps going on and on and on about this dragon that came from the sky. And I was like, I got to look into that. I got to read about that. Because I've seen the dragon that they talk about in the stars and the the zodiac. And it's just funny. It's talk about synchronicity. I mean, then I'm reading this, and it's talking about it proves beyond a doubt that the Lucifer, the light bearer, and the Agatho demon, the good demon, were one and the same defiled spirit, the shining vapors that possess the skies of primeval man, that the great red dragon, which also fell from the skies, and the Leviathan slain in primordial water. It's just funny. I've never even heard dragons falling from the sky until today. I've heard it twice. Weird.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, talk about synchronicity.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people talk about the manifesting their reality. And I just want to give a shout out to Dave. Thank you for sending the goodie bag. But just like a week ago, I was thinking there was somebody that put a image of the flat Earth, sun, moon, David's app, and made a little image that you could put onto a business card and with a referral code and hand those out as you talk to people. Well, my logic was I'm going to go and grab that image and I'm just spend $20, have a bunch of business cards printed off, and good to go. I got that goodie bag from Weiss the beginning of this week, Monday, and he had thrown a stack of the business cards in there with his app on it, and I was like, yeah, that's talk about manifesting.
Very cool.
That was neat.
Very cool indeed. Good guy, that Dave.
Yeah, he's doing good. And like I have to say, it's been 8 years for me. It was a ODD TV video on YouTube. It just happened to be next suggested. How they used
back in the good days. Back in the good old days, yeah.
For sure. I had even skipped several of the videos, and I'm not even gonna entertain this. And one night I was like, okay, I'll listen, I'll see what he's got to say, and I can throw this in the garbage and I'll be good to go. Well, like I said, that was 8 years ago.
Damn it. And it's like me, when my wife said, I was just looking around at things, and then I was like, okay, I'm just going to disprove her real quick just so that I can move on and never have to bring it up to her that I called her, stupid for the wrong reasons. And then, of course, now look at me today. So
yeah. We definitely, we all come a long way, and everybody's got their own journey, own path.
For sure.
But yeah, it's awesome to see where we've come, this community's come today.
And I think it's growing a lot more than we know. I think, clearly, if you asked anybody 5 years ago if they've heard about flat Earth, ask about flat Earth, they would say, no, they've never even heard of it. But now you'd be hard to find somebody who hasn't heard of it.
No, yeah, definitely not. It's no matter what, you've heard of it at some point. You either legitimately heard about it or mocking it. You heard about it, so.
Right? But at least there's people out there that believe it, because then it tends to get people to open their eyes a little bit more. Maybe they see something like, that's weird. Now I got to go look in what those guys think.
Right.
So I was trying to find. I don't see it. All right, anything else for me?
Nope. We keep moving around on TikTok and keep gathering more and more people for Weiss's app. That thing's gonna be fabulous in a year.
We're a year away, you think? He would agree with you.
Yeah, I'll give it a year. I see some great things within the next year.
Okay, I'll tell him that. He'll be very happy to hear that.
For sure.
All right, thanks for the call, buddy.
All right, you have a great one.
Later. Afonso will be right with you. 1 second. I'm just looking for something and I'm not finding it now. I wanted to see. Oh, that's a pretty good one. I don't remember. I guess I could go to Facebook. I just hate going there. But that's where somebody sent it to me. I'm going to see if I can find it just to show you. It's very strange that, and this is not a video that was recently done. It was a video from 4 years ago. I thought it said 4 years ago. That's why I'm looking in that region. But I've always liked Jay Dreamers for his movie decodes. I think he does an excellent job of movie decoding. But he put this video that was was it him reading it or a girl reading it? I don't see it now. Let me go to Facebook and get it. Just because now I mentioned it, now I got to do it. Where is my phone? I don't know. I left it in the garage. Let me go to this Facebook here. Facebook. And what? Oh, let me see this real quick. I just want to pull up this video for you guys to watch. It was about some lady used to make predictions or something. I don't remember the name exactly. Where's my? There we go. And what was the name? No. Was it this one? Yeah. I think this is him. Okay, let me find it. There we go. Where was I not looking? 4 years ago. Why wouldn't I find this right now? Was it a live stream? No. I wonder why I couldn't find this. All right, we're gonna watch this real quick. Put it over here. Yeah, just watch this. It's a 4-minute video, but I have to show you because now it's on my mind. And originally I watched this and I kind of watched the whole thing. I'm like, it's got some stuff in it that I kind of agree with, and then otherwise I'm just like, And now I'm like, okay, I gotta look into this. Let's check it out. This is by Jay Dreamers. It's called Mother Shipton Predicts the End. Enjoy.
Around the world men's thoughts will fly, quick as the twinkling of an eye, and waters shall great wonders do. How strange, and yet it shall come true. Beneath the water men shall walk, shall ride, shall sleep, shall even talk, and in the air men shall be seen in white and black and even green. For in those wondrous far-off days the women shall adopt a craze to dress like men in trousers wear, and to cut off their locks of hair. They'll ride astride with brazen brow as witches do. On broomsticks now there'll be a sign for all to see. Be sure that it will certain be. Then love shall die and marriage cease, and nations wane and babes decrease, as wives shall fondle cats and dogs, and men live much the same as hogs. Pictures alive with movements free, boats like fishes beneath the sea. When men like birds shall scour the sky, then half the world deep drenched in blood shall die. Then half the world deep drenched in blood shall die. For those who live this century through, in fear and trembling this shall do. Flee to the mountains and the dens, to bog and forest and wild fens. For storm will rage and oceans roar, when Gabriel stands on sea and shore. And as he blows his wondrous horn, old worlds die and new be born. Fiery dragon will cross the sky 6 times before this earth shall die. Mankind will tremble and frightened be, for the 6 heralds in this prophecy. For 7 days and 7 nights, man will watch this awesome sight. The tides will rise beyond their ken to bite away the shores, and then the mountains will begin to roar, and earthquakes split the plain to shore, and flooding waters rushing in will flood the lands with such a din that mankind cowers in muddy fen and snarls about his fellow men. And when the dragon's tail is gone, man forgets and smiles and carries on to apply himself. Too late, for mankind has earned deserved fate. His masked smile, his false grandeur will serve the gods their anger stir, and they will send the dragon back to light the sky. His tail will crack upon the earth and rend the earth, and man shall flee king, lord, and serf. And men will die of thirst before the oceans rise to mount the shore, and lands will crack and rend anew. You think it's strange, it will come true. And in some far-off distant land, some men, oh such a tiny band, will have to leave their solid mount and span the earth, those few to count. And those surviving this will then begin the human race again. But not on land already there, but on ocean beds stark, dry, and bare. Not every soul on earth will die as the dragon's tail goes sweeping by. Not every land on earth will sink, but these will wallow in stench and stink of rotting bodies of beast and man, of vegetation crisped on land. And those that live will ever fear the dragon's tail for many years. But time erases memory. You think it's strange, but it will be. And before the race is built anew, a silver serpent comes to view, and spew out men of like unknown to mingle with the earth now grown cold from its heat. And these men can enlighten the minds of future man to intermingle and show them how to live and love and thus endow the children with the second sight, a natural thing so that they might grow graceful, humble, and when they do, the golden age will start anew.
Anyway, very weird, and I'd never even heard of Mother Shipton, and then I was just looking her up, and she's a so-called witch or something. But one of the things that I did notice when I looked it up is that she said the world to an end shall come in 1881. So, she knew her shit. Let's just put it that way. She knew her shit. Afonso, welcome to the show.
Hi, are you listening to me?
Nope.
No?
Yes, I am, of course.
Oh, okay, so sorry. I'm sorry I don't have a camera. My PC doesn't have my computer doesn't have a camera. And I wanted to ask a question. I've been in the flat Earth movement, if you can say that, for a long time. But like when the YouTube algorithm changed, I lost a lot of content I used to see. So I also disconnected a bit. And then just recently I've been again interested. Okay. So I wanted to ask a question that I got recently is like the movement in the South Stars, like the Southern Cross, because I see those videos where the stars move, they take video pictures for a long time, and then you see the movement of the stars.
Yes, those are mostly computer generated, right?
I know they're what I thought is they're continuous shots, but I like the same way we get the analemma,
Yeah, but a continuous shot of the stars would be what? How long would it take to get the stars to do a complete circle? 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So there's no 24 hours there that's dark. So how would they have circle stars?
Yeah, I know, but they seem to kind of curve around the Southern Cross. So
in the antipode, right?
Just my question. So I saw some flat Earth projection maps, people using geometry, and it seemed to say that it's possible, but I still don't get it.
Yes. So you're asking me how the Southern Stars work?
Yes, if you know, or if you have any video explaining that or something, I would appreciate.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos that explain it, or that try to explain it. I think even P-Brain does a pretty good one talking about anti-crepuscular rays, behind you. For the most part, I don't think there's been a good enough explanation, to be honest with you. I don't think there's one that you can bank on that says this is 100% it. But I also don't think we should be looking at the stars to decipher where we live on the ground. But that's just me. I mean, for me, there's not enough known about these southern stars. It's very weird that you don't have a southern celestial pole, right? There's no I think they say it's what Sigma Octantis, right? That's the name of the star, but you can't see it. It's just a blank spot.
I just know it's a part of the Southern Cross constellation.
I don't think it's a part of the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross is 30 degrees away from it, isn't it?
Yes, I know, but they say it's the best way to see the supposed south.
Right, but the southern stars, the cross progresses, right?
I think so. Yeah, it moves right around the.
Right, so each person in South Africa, South.
Yeah, I've seen those videos. They have to in South America, they have to look to certain degrees. South Africa, they have to look south.
Right.
And Australia, have to look southwest, I think.
Right, but then if you think of how perspective works, then you can start to see where, because it started out first that they were saying, oh, but the stars go the opposite direction. You understand why they go the opposite direction, right?
Yes, I understand why they go the opposite direction.
Okay, so then the next step is, why are they not just sweeping across the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, I think that they do seem to go around a point, and then each country or each continent sees it at a separate time. So it's not a matter of the star trails that they show you that everything's going around in just a circle, because that's a lie. The other thing that the star trails do is they make it circular, not oval, which I think that star trails are for the most part oval, depending on where you're at. If you're underneath the North Star, well, obviously your circles are going to be circle. But if you're say in California and you do a time lapse, those are oval, and the globe can't have that. So what do? They lie with their computer software and completely fake the circles, because there's, you know, you're not from California, you're not able to see 24 hours of stars, yet we can see star trails all the time in full circles.
Yes. I see them. I saw those.
Yes.
So my time is up.
Yep.
When will you be doing this?
Every Thursday at 3:00.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thursday. Okay.
Later.
Thank you.
Plain Reality, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you? Hold on, mate. Just let me pull the car over. I made sure I stayed in the left lane so I could get out of here quickly.
No problem.
Okay.
What?
How's things?
Good. You?
How are you? Yeah, good. Very good. Hey, first of all, I was listening just earlier, and I just want to say, in general, I completely agree with you about the God thing. I think God should be an all-loving being, and it punishing people and doing bad stuff like that, I just don't see it.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I guess I can see punishing people. Like, I mean, you know, I guess for people being bad, but not people's children, not to the fourth generation, and be proud of that and be like, I'm going to do that so I show my powers. And again, to me, if there was any leader doing that in any country, we would all look at that leader and point and say tyrant, and everybody would hate him. But because it's God, a really good show for people to listen to would be Adam Green just had a show with Owen Benjamin. And I thought that Owen Benjamin's going to be coming around the corner pretty soon, because he's now seeing the truth that, I mean, look at what the Christians are. They worship the God of Israel. The God of the Jews is now celebrated and worshiped all over the world because of Christianity, because of Muslims, because of the God of the Jews has won the war of being the God of everybody. I mean, it's just so ridiculous to me. And he's not. Yep. It's not a good God. He's a tyrant. He's a racist. He's a
vengeful God.
Vengeful. He has a chosen people. God has a chosen people. So God is the first racist. So to me, I don't think that it's something that I just saw somebody in the chat says, no, don't get him started on this. I'll shut up.
Yeah, sorry.
People hate me.
Hey, what I actually want to say is, like, you know how they, it's claimed that, well, on a flat Earth there wouldn't be a horizon, which we all know is stupid.
On a flat Earth, there would be, but okay.
But, do you know anyone in Kansas?
I'm sure we could find some people, but you mean flat old Kansas?
Yeah, good old flat Kansas, because if we can get video of there being horizons in Kansas, which is supposedly, 400 miles across?
Yeah, but it gets confusing because they're not saying it's flat. It still has they're still saying it's curved like the ocean. So if we said from here to, you know, if me and you would look and we would say from here to Hawaii is flat water, right? So would they. Yeah. They would say it's level all the way across. They would say it's level water all the way across, even though they include a 721-mile curve. So that's where it gets a little bit. They're saying Kansas is flat, and for all intents and purposes, it's flat, but they mean curved.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they're talking the level curve.
Yeah, they're more talking topography flat.
Oh, okay. So complete retardedness.
Complete retardedness. Yep.
Yeah.
Glad you see that.
Complete and totally. All right. So another point I wanted to bring up is, you know, when they're doing a laser test through water and they're showing the light bending down and they're saying, well, that's what's happening. Light's bending down, so that's why we see things around the curve.
Yes. I don't believe that at all, but yes.
No. Okay. Yeah. But this is what they're saying.
Yes.
Now, it just kind of dawned on me that actually what's going on is you're seeing it from the perspective of the thing that you're looking at.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, again, in their model.
Because when you're shining the light through there, that's as if, because the light bounces off something and comes back to you. So the only reason we see things is because the light bounces off of it and comes back to us.
I mean, yes. Again, according to them, yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So therefore, then when they're showing the perspective of seeing a laser through water, they're showing you as if that's you looking where the tip of the laser is, and then the laser is bending down, so you're seeing over the curve. But in reality, what we're actually seeing is the light coming from the object back to us. So what we're actually seeing is the light bend down from the object to us.
Which would mean you wouldn't see the bottoms of buildings because the
Which
light
would mean you wouldn't see the bottoms of the buildings or the bottoms of things or three-quarters of the way up. Wherever that light is bending at that moment is where you'd be seeing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
I was just thinking that the other day, and thinking, like, well, this is why they're getting it wrong, because they're actually looking at those laser experiments, like as if you're looking from the laser and looking out and seeing the light go down, and that's true, except that you're only looking at the things that are coming back to you, the light that's coming back to you.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine. Like, I can imagine light traveling when you're talking about a laser, or when you're talking about the sun or a light source. I could see light traveling from that point, but I don't understand the traveling back to me. To me, I see a mountain because it's illuminated by the sun. There's no light coming from the mountain to me. But again, that's just, I can't get past that yet. That it's the light from the sun travels, hits the mountain, then bounces off, and then travels to me at the same speed it came from the sun. It just seems weird.
Yeah, I can see that. But I guess the whole idea is that once the light hits it, that light, I guess what you're saying.
And there is nothing traveling because at that speed, because again, it's hitting your eye. So your eye is not capable of withstanding things flying at it at crazy speeds.
Yeah, the whole idea of the photons and stuff, and being particles and hitting your eye, I think it's
just shows you how little these people know, and they want to walk around and tell everybody that they're geniuses and that people are dumb for believing something else when they don't even have any idea. They have to call things like, "Oh, it's a light and a wave, it's a particle and a wave," and it's just, they're all over the place.
Yeah. It's quite insane.
Yeah,
but I've got my laptop back now as well, so I have been making videos this week.
Awesome. Looking forward to that video about the windmills.
Doing actually a good one where what I thought was Curfew Point looking from Grange is actually Semaphore. That's why I can see the lights at the Semaphore. No, so not Semaphore. O'Sullivan's Beach.
Okay.
That's why I can see the lights at the car park there. And I'm doing a video at the moment which is showing the mirroring of the land, and I'm comparing that to the mirroring of the boats.
Okay.
Of the ships. And the very last one, like, 'cause some of the mirroring on the land, probably 30 meters of that entire land of Semaphore is out of view, is mirrored. So that's
no matter what day, or it changes?
Oh, it changes.
Right.
Completely changes, because I have one video where literally zero of it is.
So let me ask you this without even giving you a warning I was going to ask you this, but when can you see the furthest? When it is cool or when it is warm?
I'm not sure what that day was where I saw the furthest, but I'd say, I think, they generally say that it just depends on what the water temperature is compared to the air temperature. So whether it's cool or warm doesn't matter. So if the water's 22 degrees and the day's 22 degrees, you should be able to see further.
But you wouldn't say in general that it's easier to see further when it's either warm or when it's cold, one or the other?
Well, this piece of footage is from a warmer time. This is from probably in January here in Australia. So it was more than likely at least 23, 24.
23
degrees Celsius.
Oh, yeah. You're talking Spanish to me about that.
Yeah, it's talking Celsius.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like it's a known fact that we can see further when it's cooler. But
yeah, well, I think generally in the north, people are seeing a lot further than what I'm seeing down here, and they're seeing clearer and seeing lower.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff that I'm seeing, I think that this is why I've been thinking about the light coming back to me.
Right.
And things being hidden from a certain point. So let's say a ship, say 80 feet of the ship being missing, and only the top 30 feet of the ship actually getting to the eyes.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it other than I don't think it's light traveling to me. I mean, again, you'd have to have a whole new way of describing it. But if I'm looking at something off in the distance, let's say a mountain, and I keep sliding panes of glass in front of me, a pane of glass, I can see right through the first 5 panes of glass, 10 panes of glass, right? I'm not even going to notice that there's a difference. But after you've accumulated more and more and more and more panes of glass, I think it's going to distort that faraway image. It's going to make it lower. It's going to make it bend down because I'm looking through more of a medium. Again, now we can just replace that with air and say the same thing's happening with air. It's not because the light traveling to me from the mountain is getting retarded. It's because what I can see is being retarded by atmosphere. So that's just me.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
But I do have some where they're quite clear days, and you can also, let's say half of the ship is missing when really only, according to the globe math, it should only be 10 feet.
Right.
We're talking like 60 feet of the ship is missing.
Yeah. Now
So
that's not proof of flat Earth though. That would just be the globe.
No, that's not proof of either.
Right.
That's just proof that there's something else going on.
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with Earth curve. There's a different atmospheric effect. Something else is going on.
Correct. And they admit that, but then don't admit it. They talk about the horizon, and they don't. It's blocked by Earth curve, but it's not Earth curve. So they're all over the place.
Yeah, and this is where they are all over the place.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't turn around and go, well, the curve should be 20 feet, but today it's 80 feet, and tomorrow it's 0 feet, and the next day it's 15 feet, the next day it's 40 feet. Like, well, where's the curve making up its mind?
My favorite one is, the Earth's so big, this happened, but it's so small, this happened. Everything, it's so big, we can't see the curve. We're just tiny. And then they're like, oh, but a boat goes 3 miles and you see it go over the curve. It's like, okay, which one?
Oh, yeah, the classic is Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said, oh, yeah, from 63 miles, which is like 350,000 feet.
Yeah.
So it's like from 6 feet, I can watch a boat at 6 miles, but
right.
From 58,000 times higher than that.
And that girl, Wally Funk, she went 66 miles up and said she didn't see the curve. It wasn't high enough. So
yeah. I was starting to look into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said that.
Oh, is that
that's
the
why
reason he came? Okay.
And said that,
Yeah, I don't doubt that. And then the other one I hate is that the Earth spins slow. Because they want to try and argue with you.
Hour.
Yeah, they want to argue with you and say, we talk about circular motion as rotations per day. It's like, okay, great. You can talk about that all you want. And let's go get on a merry-go-round. And if we do a merry-go-round at the, at some amusement park, you're right. 1 rotation per day is extremely slow. We wouldn't even know we were moving probably. Now let's make that merry-go-round
1,000 miles an hour.
Well, now let's make that merry-go-round 24,901 miles in circumference, and then spin that thing up at 1 rotation per day. And you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to be on the ground, and all the water on everything's going to be off the thing. But again, they'll just say, "Oh, we're actually rotating really slow." I'm sure we are.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the same as when they go, "Oh, well, 69 miles." When you're looking over 69 miles, it's only 1 degree.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's only 1 degree, but it's still 4,000 feet.
Right.
So it's like it's still 4,000 feet of curve. So you can't turn around and be like, "Well, 4,000 feet of curve is nothing."
Yeah. No. And then it gets crazy to me when you think of. I remember I did this one video. I watched it the other day again, and I said, "What is the distance that the Earth curves between Hawaii and California?" Right, and so that distance is about, let's say, 2,500 miles, and so you can put that into the Earth curve calculator, which I'll just show you what I did in that video because it was kind of funny. As I said, okay, we got 2,500 miles times 2,500 miles times 8 equals times 8 equals 50 million, right? And then I said, okay, 50 million divided by 5280 is going to give us our miles. So, 9,469, and then divide that by 12. Is that how I get there? Yeah. So the total is 789. So when I did it, I said 789 feet, and then I showed that there's 2 Statue of Liberties stacked on top of each other. And I said, okay, do you really think that there's 2 Statue of Liberties stacked on top of each other, a mound of water like that between us and Hawaii? And then I said, oh, wait, I did the math wrong. I said, it's not 789 feet, it's 789 miles. Miles. So again, if you just look up the height of Statue of Liberty, which I think is like 300, somewhere around there. Is 305. Okay, so now we can take 789 miles, and we can say 789 miles times 5280 is going to get us our feet, which is 4.1 million. Divide that by the 305, and we get 13,658. So you have to believe that between California and Hawaii, there is a hump of water that stands 13,658 Statue of Liberties high. Believe what you want. Believe what you want. Travis, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jeranism. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm a big fan of your work.
Thank you.
So I wanted to bring attention to exactly what star parallax is.
Okay.
And I'm reading this because there's a lot of numbers here and such. So I recently had a conversation with an astronomer, at the Hawaiian Mauna Kea Observatory in Hawaii.
Okay.
And he said that star parallax is the #1 proof that we are in an expanding heliocentric universe.
Okay.
So what is parallax? Parallax is a displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along two different lines of sight. It is measured by the angle or half angle of inclination between those two lines.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to holding a finger in front of your face and looking at it through each eye while the other eye is closed.
Right.
So how much parallax is actually being measured, and how do they take these measurements?
Correct.
These measurements are done in milliarc seconds, arc minutes, and parsecs.
Okay.
Parsecs is short for arc second and parallax. So if you're looking at a 360-degree circle, each one of the degrees can be split into 60 arc minutes.
Correct.
There are 21,600 arc minutes in a 360-degree circle. Each of these arc minutes can be split into arc seconds, specifically 60 arc seconds in an arc minute.
Right.
There is 1,296,000 arc seconds in a 360-degree circle.
Okay.
1 degree is 3,600,000 milliarc seconds.
Wait, 1 degree is 3 million milliarc seconds?
Yes.
Okay.
Milliarc seconds. There are 1,319,760,000 milliarc seconds in a 360-degree circle.
Okay. It's not really important to know, but okay.
Well, so in arc, I'm just kind of showing how ridiculous it gets.
Right. But I mean, really, we should be paying attention to that 1 degree, because what happens in 1 degree? Because 1 degree is hard enough to see. Then if you say that within 1 degree, there's 60 arc minutes. So now we're able to separate that 1 degree into 60. And then within each of those one slices of pie, there's 60 arc seconds. So now we've separated into another 60. And then after that, we get into milliarc seconds, which means I think it's 3,600, right? You separate 1 arc second by 3,600 to get a milliarc second, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So an arc second is 0.000278 of a degree.
0.000278. I can see that. Okay.
And 1 parsec is said to be 3.3 light years.
Right.
So 1/10 of a milliarc second would be an angle between two connected lines that started in Paris, ended in New York City, and by the end was no wider than Abe Lincoln's eye on a penny.
Correct.
This is what they're saying that they're measuring.
Yeah. Again, and they're measuring it through the atmosphere. It's absolutely, literally impossible.
Absolutely. So,
because again, and this is what where they confuse you, and these are all tricks of the trade. You can tell when you get in this far in flat Earth, what you start to notice is everything that people say is just a trained response, right? These people don't have any clue what they're talking about. So I'm not talking about this astronomer. I'm mostly talking about flat Earth. I'm sorry, YouTube globe proponents, or people that you might run into on the street. They don't have a clue. They just will say to you that we know the distance to stars because of parallax, but they don't realize the tiny
right it is.
Right, exactly.
And also they claim that if they can measure 0.0002 of a degree at trillions of miles of distance, why is it so impossible for them to measure the angle of 66 feet across 10 miles of water?
Right.
To show us some Earth curve.
Correct. It's kind of embarrassing.
Talking with that astronomer, I mentioned, well, if you're able to, if star parallax is your big proof, then how come we have never been able to observe the 12 zodiac constellations have any type of change in multiple millennia?
Mm-hmm.
And this astronomer, he got flustered, red in the face, and ended the conversation immediately.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. And again, sometimes they come back with negative parallax, and they're just told to mark it as 0 or positive. That's literally the answer to that, which is like, what? What do you mean? Like, that's what you're telling people to do? So again, and I'll show people after. I'm kind of drawing a little thing to show parallax after, but it's pretty insane. How did you get to talk to that guy?
So I was going to a church in Hilo, Hawaii, and it turns out and I was asking the pastor about his thoughts on biblical cosmology, and then he said, well, you should talk to one of the other pastors over here. And it turns out this guy is an associate of Danny Faulkner.
Oh, yeah, this guy's fun.
And I didn't know it at the time. I didn't realize they're associates. So when I brought it up, he just it just infuriated him. But that was just mentioning the 12 zodiac constellations never changing was like kryptonite to this guy. He just like short circuited.
Yeah. And now I'm trying to think even their model of how they do it doesn't make sense to me now I'm thinking about it, because they say we're looking at the stars and then they look at 6 months later, right? To get that baseline of the angle.
Right.
But how would they make sure that they're on the same point of the Earth? Meaning that you would have to be, I guess you could do it at the exact same time, but then again,
they also, in the orbits, they had traveled millions of miles.
Right.
6 months later.
Right. And how would you ever just assume that it means that everything stays in exactly the same formations?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so ridiculous when you actually look into what star parallax.
Yeah. That's why when people ask me all the time, they're like, what would it take for you to become a glober? I'm like, man, this isn't as simple as I need this one evidence. There's too much stuff. There's just too much. There's too much stuff that is hocus pocus. You have to believe these guys. You have to really trust science that we've never even seen. You have to believe. I was just listening back to a Globebusters episode where we were talking about that first black hole that they imaged, and we're showing this girl talk about it. She's the one who found it and everything. And she even says what they do is like, there's no way they could possibly see it. So they like look at a bunch of pictures around Earth to find what they think looks like that. And then they find, it's just insane. It's like, why would these people be so full of themselves that they think you could do that?
There's one other incredible bit of information. So this is hearsay.
Okay.
I talked to another man here that was an engineer at the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea.
Okay.
And he had no idea about the flat Earth argument at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking, well, how far can those telescopes see? And he said, well, we can see the lights of Los Angeles. And I was like,
wait, what?
He didn't know about the flat Earth argument.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, really? And he's like, oh yeah. And so once I did a little bit of math and I showed him, I was like, that should be under 600 miles of curve. And he got quite upset and started trying to back-talk everything, back-walk it. So someday maybe we'll get some type of data or images from that type of.
Wow, Malakia says you can see LA.
That was what he said, not knowing anything about the curvature amounts.
Wow, pretty crazy. And what does he do there?
He was some type of engineer, been there for years, and he just said, and that's what he said. That's like kind of bragging about it, like, oh yeah, we can see the lights of Los Angeles. And I believe it was actually like 650 miles below the curve. It's a 14,000 foot elevation, 2,400 miles or something like that distant. And they're from one observatory to the other on the Los Angeles coastline from Mauna Kea is what he said that they could see. But that's hearsay, so I don't have evidence for it. Just
the other thing is, I'm wondering now, okay, so look at an item that's in your room or somewhere it's a distance, and then close one eye and close the other. And we notice that the item shifts, right? Back and forth, back and forth. What is the correct position? Is the correct position the middle? Or where is that item actually at? So, because again, when you're talking about, people might think that's a silly thing to say, but what these guys are saying they can actually pinpoint, again, just think of how ridiculous.
Yeah, what is the exact radius point of this star?
Right, you can't. How would you know? I guess they could say they're looking through a telescope, but okay, so you're looking through a telescope with one eye, and you're seeing where it's at compared to a background star. But again, if you are not in the same place on the Earth in its spin that it was, again, I'm talking about this in make-believe Globeland, I think it's just literally impossible to even claim that you can do that. And why nobody's ever called them out on it, I don't know. This is a problem with this science. It's not science. It's the opposite of science. It's a make-believe. There is no way to go. You can have science behind the idea of parallax, because we can actually go out, estimate things, and then measure it and say, yes, we were correct. No, we were wrong, whatever. But you can't do that with the stars. You just have to believe it. There is
And
nobody who
another
can double
big
check
thing
that.
about the parallax argument, if they're measuring a 0.00002 of a degree 6 months later, and considering, there's like 50 earthquakes an hour, that alone would cause some type of instrumental error where you would not be able to
I would agree.
measure that type of thing 6 months later after hundreds of earthquakes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, for sure. Yeah, and it's weird that they make it seem like it's so definitive, and then you go look into that, what they call the cosmic ladder, I think, or there's like certain things that allow them to, because again, parallax alone won't tell you anything, right? The displacement of an item far away, how does that tell you a distance to that item? It doesn't. You have to have a couple different elements of that triangle. Well, one of the ways that they find out these so-called distances is using they call it a standard candle. It's just ridiculous. It's basically, again, they'd have no way of proving this. They just say this type of star always shines at the same brightness, and therefore we can use that star to dictate the distance to other ones. It's an utter joke, really.
And then that measuring the angle to that star 6 months later, in their model, that star has traveled millions of miles.
Right. A ton.
So it's.
But they would say it's moved so minutely versus our position. Well, okay, maybe that minutely is that amount that you're measuring. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, again, I don't believe their story at all, so I think it's just all make believe. And then if you actually go try and find the people who do this work, it's very difficult. Find me somebody who's ever measured the angle change in a star over the point of 6 months later. Find that person. Come on my show.
To see that, when you ask to see their evidence, they're like, "Oh yeah, here," and then they'll just show you a graph with some numbers on it. And that's it.
Right. Or they,
that's it.
Like the machine that gets the answers from when they bounce a laser off the moon, right? It's like just a machine that goes, ding, and okay, it's there. Okay, I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do they know that isn't measuring off the firmament? And if they send trillions of light photons up at that refractor on the moon, and they're only getting a couple back, and if we're being bombarded by light photons constantly, how do they know it's the same ones they receive back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they say it's one. They send out 4 quadrillion photons, which I don't even think a photon's real, but that's what they say, and then they get back 1. Not 1 million, not 100,000, not 1,000, but 1 out of 4 quadrillion. That would always be considered in the error category, right? The measurement error. You would never be so precise as to say we sent out 4 quadrillion of something and we get back 1, and we're going to. What are you talking about? That's just a measuring error. We're human beings. We're not gods. Like we don't have that ability. They can't even do shit right here. That's why I always say, I'll go to the end of a football field with a can full of gas, and I'll open the lid, and you find me an astronomer who can tell me from the other end of a football field what gas I'm letting go, but they tell us they can do that for trillions of miles.
Right.
It's very believable.
They say that there's they can determine the geology makeup of a planet trillions of miles away, but they can't do that to a mountaintop that's 10 miles away.
So funny.
It's absurd.
It's absurd. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Get one more person behind you. I appreciate the call. That was good stuff.
All right, have a good one, Darren. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
You too. Come back next time and tell us some more gravy. Oh wait, we did have somebody waiting. I'll give them another second. They're not there now. So I'll explain parallax real quick because I think people may not really get it. Let me go like this though, and show you what I mean by, again, you can use this technically on a close scale, but I'll show you what I mean. So if we have this, I'll make sure. You can't see it because on YouTube it's going to be all disgusting. That's right, YouTube. You got to go over somewhere else. That's all I got to say. Where's this here? Let's go this one. I'll try and get it a little bit in the picture. Maybe that down a little bit. Maybe down a little more. Maybe down a little more. Right a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. All right. So picture that you are, I don't know, driving a car. You're going to love my drawing skills. They're really top notch, I'll tell you. Don't you ever say a word about them. All right. So let's say that we've got, well, first of all, let me go real quick. Here's a mountain back here. Okay, let's say that we're driving. Here's some mountain ranges back here. Okay, and there's like a little hill here we can clearly see. And then we've got a tree that is sitting here. Okay, or so forth. It's my tree. Okay, and we are driving in our car this direction. And not very good at drawing cars. Oops. And there we go. Good enough. I don't know what's wrong with this truck. It's now a truck. Forget about a car. All right. So this car is going this direction. And as you would know, you would see the tree on the right side of the mountain, right? And then as you drove over to here, now all of a sudden the tree would be on the left side of the mountain. That's parallax, right? So basically, if you know your baseline distance, you can't, if you knew the distance from here to here, then you can measure the angles from here off this tree to see where it hits the back, and then from here off the tree, remember over here. Well, let's go back this way. It's kind of confusing with where I put that. Sat by a car. So, really we'd put the tree here, and then we'd say the tree was over here, and then the tree was over here, right? So then you can start to do, if you had this baseline, you're like, okay, I drove for 2 miles here, and then you draw an angle off here, and you go, let's say, I didn't draw the tree there, but let's say the tree is here. I'm going green. Okay, so your tree is here. Okay. And then you can see where this angle hits, right? So this angle hits where in the back? It hits, say it hits that one here, and then from here, it hits that one there. Okay, so then from there, what you can do is, because I think they use half angles. So once you know that angle, you can then do like a half angle here. And we got this one exactly. Okay, so now the problem with this drawing here, right, is, what's going on here? Hold on, fix this is not going to work. So I go like this size. Can you still see it? Good enough. Good enough, good enough. So you can show that the angle made by those green lines, or these, I'm sorry, they're blue lines here, would be equal to the sum of the angles, this one and this one, which would be the same as this angle and this angle, right? Because these are triangles. So from there, they can then say, all right, well, if we know these angles, then we can figure out the distance that this tree is far away from us, whatever. Okay, but here's the problem with what they say with the stars. Now, imagine the same thing, that we've got this line of baseline here, okay, that is 93 million times 2, so 186 million miles. That's the baseline. Basically, they're just saying that, okay, well, if the Earth is here, going around the sun, and then it's here 6 months later, then we have a baseline of 186. Okay, so remember that we were just talking about with the angles they measure. So when I'm drawing lines like this, how big is that angle here? Well, that's very, 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 very small. This is about 45 degrees. Well, guess the angles that they measure are like this. They are exactly almost 90 degrees, and this one also. Meaning that now you have to picture these blue lines, picture them going out to infinity as far as they can, and then there's a tiny, tiny little change. So much so that the angle of this comes back at being 89.99904. And the angle of this one is 89.9999904. So the angles are so tiny. And again, how tiny? Ridiculous. Let's just look at a circle real quick here, and I'll get to the last couple calls. Let's look at a circle. Here's our circle. We know that there's 360 degrees in a circle. So let's say, how big is 1 degree? Well, very small. So we've got, here's your center line, your 360 marker, or your 0. So 1 degree would literally be, let me get in here. Is that line straight up and down? Close enough. 1 degree is going to be here. That's more than 1 degree, right? Because we've got to fit 45 of those slices to get to, well, here's your, actually, I think I'm way past the center, actually. Probably should be a little more there. That's way past. Let's redo this. Make me feel better about it. Oops. When I do this circle, I should be able to get the center if I just pay attention. There you go. Okay, so there's our circle there. A little smaller. Look at there. So there's our circle. So here's the middle. I'm just going to grab a, well, actually, I can make a little mark there. Okay, so there's our middle. Now we're going to go with a straight line down from there, up from here. I know it's not, may not be perfectly straight, but you get the point. Go away. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so there's your 90 degree piece of pie. Okay, and we know that this angle here would be 45, thereabouts. So this one here is 22. By the way, isn't it crazy that every angle of the circle adds up to 9? 360, 3 plus 9 is 9. 180, 1 plus 8 is 9. 270, 2 plus 7 is 9. And look how crazy it is. Half 45 degree is 4 plus 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Half of that, 22.5. 2 plus 5 is 9. If you go half of that, 22 and a half would be 11.25. 1125 is 2, 2 and 5 is 9. Yeah. And it goes infinity. I mean, as many times as you can separate that down. So right here, we're at 22, right? Or sorry, wait, 45. Then we went half of 45 to get to 11. Half of 11. Oh, I'm losing myself here. That's 45. Half of the 45 is 22. Half of the 22 is 11. So then half of the 11 would be 5 point something, 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 something. Right? And then half of that would be 2 points. So you're talking about 1 degree being somewhere right around here would be my guess. Okay. So now we've got this slice here that we're looking at only. Okay. That's 1 degree. So if you're looking at the sky, you're talking about just this 1 degree here. Let me actually take off my dash. Okay. So this is 1 degree. So now picture that we take this one little slice here. Okay. And we're going to blow this up. Okay, we're going to paste that here, and we're going to make it huge. Okay, so this is our 1 degree. Okay, so that's 1 degree there. Now you have to separate this into arc minutes. Okay, so this gets separated into 60 of these. So imagine, I mean, they're so tiny you wouldn't be able to see them, right? 60. Now take one of those and separate it into 60. And now we have not even milli yet. Now we have arc seconds. 60. I can barely draw, 7 lines in there. But let's say we separate it into 60. Imagine this sliver that we're talking about. Then to get to the next step, we're still not even in the place where they measure angles with the stars. I want to make sure is that milliarc seconds is, I always get confused on that number. Milliarc seconds is equal to 1,000th of an arc second. Okay. So remember we had arc minutes, which was separated into 60. Now we're down to arc seconds, which is separated into 60 again. And inside of that, there's 1,000 separations. And that's a milliarc second. One slice of that. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. And then they want you to think, again, one degree separated into 60. Each one of those 60 is a milliarc. I'm sorry, I keep saying milli. Is an arc minute. Each minute has 60 within it. It's an arc second. And then inside the arc seconds are 1,000 milliarc seconds, which is just outrageous. Again, when you zoom that back out and you kind of picture, that's how little the angle is that they say they can measure from a Earth that is going around the sun at crazy speeds. And like this guy said, all the stars would be traveling too. So how could you ever claim that, oh, here's a good picture I was drawing earlier. So again, this is where they lie to people, is they make it seem like they go, oh, look it up. Watch this when I look it up. If I type in parallax stars, every single drawing will be bullshit. Every single one. Why? Because it's all a lie on purpose. Watch. Every single one of these drawings. Lie, 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 lie. It's all lie. Every one of them. Lie, lie. They're not even close. But this is why they lie to people, is because it looks really, hey, there's a little tree like I drew. It makes it seem legit. They're like, oh, wait a second. This makes sense. We're here on this Earth. Oh, you probably can't even see that. Let me do this over here. Yeah, you can't see. Let me go this way. It'd be easier. There we go. So this drawing here it's just bullshit. It's not even close. Remember, the angles are out straight and out straight at 89.99994 and 89.99992. It's literally insane that anybody would believe these guys. Why would you give them that kind of power? They've never done it for anybody. They never showed anybody. It's just people want to be believers, especially atheists. They really want that to be true. But again, here, look at this drawing down here. This is nothing like what goes on. Zero. Every single one of these is a lie. Not one of them is true. Lie, 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 lie. Like, oh, look, it's just a parallax angle. It's just this little angle here. Yeah, but you're forgetting that the angle is and again, it's the same as this angle. So if you're talking about Oh, Jaron, you said it would be, yeah, it's the same thing, meaning that the star that you see is so far away that the angle is 89.999999, and the angle is 0.0000001 or whatever. And there's probably not that many zeros. It's probably 4 or 5 zeros is plenty. But again, they make it seem like, look at Earth in July, Earth in January, nearby star, stars apparent position in January, stars apparent position in July. Such a lie. Look at this. What a lie. This is bullshit. I'm tempted to watch this video to see how bullshit it is. Let's just watch. Let's see. How bullshit can you get? You better tell people what angles they actually measure. They'll just lie. Hurry up. Let's go. Okay, we'll go a little further.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about the first of the ways that astronomers use to find the distances between objects in our solar system, our galaxy, and eventually our universe.
Yeah, please tell us.
Knowing the distance between objects gives us an idea of how large the universe actually is.
Right.
If we know how far away the objects in the universe are, we can then look at how old the universe is. So that's the ultimate goal.
It's kind of a lot of presuppositions in there, my friend.
Distances inside our solar system.
Quite a few.
And so here we have all of the parts of our solar system apart from the Earth, obviously. And you can see here, this is the distance from the sun is given here, and this is in kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can very quickly start to see that we get to thousands of millions of kilometers.
Yeah, again, do you see all the presuppositions included here? Do you see that it's all a disaster when you get down to it? It's like they've been given the answers, meaning that all this stuff has been handed to these people who think they're so smart. All these globe proponents, they've been handed answers, and they go around repeating them saying, I'm smart because I know these answers. But you're like, no, you're not. How did they come up with those answers? They must have done something. They had to know the distance to the sun because of the, because of parallax. No, genius.
And this is very inconvenient using large numbers like this. So instead, we start to use something called the astronomical unit. The astronomical unit is only really useful for within our solar system.
How about you tell the truth that we didn't get these numbers first and then come up with the astronomical unit? We had to come up with the astronomical unit first.
It's given the abbreviation AU, and that is the average distance from the Earth to the sun.
Okay.
The average distance from the Earth to the sun is 150 million kilometers, and so that is equal to 1 AU. So I'm going to be using AU as a unit of distance from now through to the end of this video.
Yeah, watch this. Watch
this
the
video
trick.
is entitled Trigonometric Parallax, but first you have to know
again, when they go through this little example of your eye, it has nothing to, it's so far from the stars. Your finger and your eyes, you have a baseline of super close with your eyes, and we can see the displacement, but what good does that do when you're talking about angles? What would the angles be to your finger? Be huge angles.
What parallax is.
Not
We have met this before in terms of parallax errors. But just to demonstrate it to yourself, the easiest way to do that is to take your finger and with your right eye closed,
we know how to do that.
So only looking through your left.
We know how to do that.
And this is the principle of parallax.
Okay, it's a principle. I'll give you that.
Position relative to a background, an unmoving background, will appear to move depending on the angle that you look at it. And this is the whole principle of trigonometry.
Now I'm going to tell you something that I'm not sure of, and I want to make sure I know this correctly. Are they saying that if you know these angles, that you can then know the distance to the finger and to the wall? Is that what they're saying? Because of triangles, you can figure out I guess they would be saying that you could take a triangle, and if you know, what is it you need to know of a triangle? 2 angles and a side, which we would have, correct? We'll let him continue.
Parallax. Very neatly summarized in this diagram.
Not summarized at all. That's just bullshit.
So if this is the same as your right eye, here the observations in February, and this is the same as your left eye, the observations in August. And what you're doing is you're looking at a star, and here the example is given of the Pleiades group of stars, against the background. So the very, very far away stars that do not appear to move. So it's very important that we have an unmoving background here, and that's our stars. And when you look at the Pleiades in February, you see them against these background stars.
Lie.
And when you look again in August, when the Earth is on the other side of the sun, you see them against these ones.
It's just such a freaking lie. It's sickening to me. It's such a small amount. You don't see them in this set of stars, and this set of stars is just horseshit. It's a lie. They're lying to you.
And so the idea is that you can measure the angle through which the Pleiades appear to have moved relative to the background between February and August. And so this is the angle that I've just referenced that you're measuring.
Okay, so far this diagram looks good. So we have the sun here, Earth on both sides of its orbit, and then you have an angle that you're going to create. And by making it a right triangle, okay, that's what it is. That's where I was getting confused. So they see how they made this a right triangle. Then we know if it's a right triangle, you would have a 90-degree angle here, okay, from the sun to that star. Then you would have a 90-degree angle, obviously here. So then if you did know this angle, then you would have baseline of this triangle and two angles. And you should be able to get the distance
and
of
what
the
you do
item.
then is you construct this triangle. You know the distance that the Earth, these black dots here that I've just circled in green, those represent the Earth, and obviously that's the sun at the center. You know that the distance between the sun and the Earth is 1 AU.
Mm-hmm.
And the angle that it has moved through is the same on either side. You divide that angle into two. The division of that angle into two, the resulting half angle, is called our parallax angle. And now we've got a right angle triangle.
Mm-hmm.
We know the parallax angle. Again, it's the angle that the stars appear to have moved divided by 2. We know the side opposite that angle, and so we can say then that tan p is equal to 1 AU over the distance from the sun to our star. And that means, of course, that the distance
to
the star is equal to 1 AU over 10p. This here represents the Pleiades that we saw in the previous diagram. Obviously, the closer that object gets, if you imagine, then the bigger our parallax angle is going to be.
Okay.
So we get a much bigger parallax angle, a much bigger apparent shift of the star relative to the background, the closer the object is.
Okay.
And when we talk about much bigger angles, none of the angles that I'm referring to here are very large. So we need to know how angles are divided up into smaller amounts. So we obviously know that we measure angle in degrees. You need to realize that one angle is divided up into 60 what are called minutes of arc. So just like there are 60 minutes in an hour, there are 60 minutes of arc, or smaller portions of angle, in 1 degree. And then itself, 1 minute is divided up into 60 seconds of arc. So 1 second of arc is equal to 1 over 3,600 of a degree. I mention this because the angles that we are dealing with are extremely small. So for example, Alpha Centauri, in the closest star system to us, that has a parallax angle of 0.75 seconds of arc. So the total movement that it makes against the background is only 1.5 degrees. And that is the closest, so that means that is the biggest angle that astronomers measure stars to make against the background.
Is what?
Any other star system background is only 1.5 degrees, and that is
What's
the closest
1.5
because the angles that we are dealing with are extremely small. So for example, Alpha Centauri, in the closest star system to us, that has a parallax angle of 0.75 seconds of arc.
Oh, seconds. Okay, I was going to say. So not, he made it sound like it was 1.5 degrees or something.
So the total movement that it makes against the background is only 1.5 degrees, and that is the closest, so that's...
Not degrees. Not degrees. 1.5 seconds of arc, not degrees.
Background is only 1.5 degrees, and that is the closest, so that means that is...
1.5 degrees sounds measurable. Oh, yeah, I would measure 1.5 degrees. Okay, I agree with you. He just told you that a second of arc is, there's 60 of them inside the minute of arc. And he said that the closest one we see is 0.75 seconds of arc, which means less than one of these which there's still 60 of these in these, and there's still 60 of these in a degree. So
the biggest angle that astronomers measure stars to make against the background. Any other star system is going to have a smaller angle than this, and this is why it's so important for you to realize about minutes of arc and seconds of arc. That's the biggest angle that's measured. The smallest measurable angle is about 2.8 times 10 to the minus 6 degrees.
Right.
So that
Thank
is
you.
the smallest parallax angle that current telescopes can measure. And if we do a little calculation using our equation that we came up with before,
Again,
we know that distance...
You have to believe, first of all, that this is even possible, right? Because you can take, I found on this, if you want to find calculator.net, I put this over here just to show you. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry, I can't see the screen. Yeah. So with this, you can put in your your 3 positive values, right? So we just heard that you would be able to know if you said, well, how far does the Earth travel in that baseline? Well, we have to cut it in half because remember we split the triangle down the middle. So the baseline is 93 million about, and then you would have that first angle, which would be towards the star. So that would be your 90. And then you have this angle, which is going to be something ridiculous, like 89.994. Okay. And then this angle would be what? Well, you know that one. It's 0.9994, 0.0006, I guess. Or is it 3 zeros? I don't know what I put down there. Let's try 3 zeros. So if we did that and hit calculate, unless my numbers are off. No. So again, this is what you see. See this angle? Of course you don't, because this is a triangle. There's supposed to be a triangle here. Let's do it with easier numbers so you can see what I mean. So if we have a baseline of 50 feet, and we say, okay, my angle over here, looking at this item is 45, and I'm sorry, it would be 90. Still says 90. 90. And then over here, you have an angle of, let's say, 60, right? Then we know that this angle is, you got to have all the sides add up to 270. So you've got 90 and 60. And then you've got, what would that be? So you have your 90 there. And then you'd have like 45 and 45. So you have 60 and 30. Okay. So, right. So then you have this triangle, right? So it's always going to be a triangle that comes back. Now picture, remember the sun is here. Sorry. Sun is here. Earth is here. It's looking at a Pleiades here, crossing the background here. And then you do the same thing on the other side, right? So then 93 million miles this way, looking this way. Okay. So this is an actual triangle. But when you're talking about what they claim to do with stars, you are talking about 0.000, 3. And then you would have this one would be 89.9997. And then this would be 90. And then this would be 93 million. Let's just put a 93 million in there now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 93 million. Yes. Okay. So again, still not a triangle, even though it is a triangle. The triangle is in there. If I could zoom in here, you would see the triangles in there just, barely. And then you would get a height of HC. Again, I can't even see the letters because it's so screwed up. So I believe, yeah. So if the height of this is 93 million, which is going to be our baseline, then the height of HB, what would be HB? Why would it also be 93 million? And then the height of HC should be the distance to the star would be this number, which is what? Million, billion, trillion, 17 trillion miles. So what I just gave you is actually a real, no, it can't be. So what I just did here is not even enough to the closest star. Okay, the closest star is 25 trillion miles, they say. We just came back with this amount and we got 17 trillion. So it's not even as far as the furthest. So that means that the angles are even more pronounced than this. So we did 89.9997. You'd have to do 89 point, let's put in 2 more 9s. 997, and let's put in here 2 more zeros. 0, 0. Now let's calculate that. And now we're going to get a distance of that star of here, which is million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, 1.7 quadrillion miles. So again, this is why it's just insane to me that why would we give these guys this credit? It's just people want to believe it. That's why they don't think that. And again, it wouldn't be a triangle. It'd be looking like this. That's the equivalent of the Earth being, here's the little tiny sun and the Earth on both sides of it. And this is the triangles that we drew to the star. I mean, it's not a triangle. It's Ridiculous. Anyway, if there's anybody left, I'll go take the final call and we'll be out of here. But that's why it's a joke. Now I'm wondering, why can't they use, so they claim that we can use parallax on a short distance, right? So for instance, we can do, let's say, like I said, there's a 50-foot walkway and we measure that. And then we say the angle here was 90 and the angle here was 40. And so the angle here is 50. Okay. So now we're going to go calculate that. Now from that, we can determine that the distance, this line here is, hold on, let me see, 65 and 41, B. Okay, so B here is 50. Then the height of HA, where does it say HA? Oh, here, this one is 65. HA, now so 32. HA, what am I looking at? I believe it's this line is what we're trying to figure out. If we were trying to figure out this one, yeah, because that's just an angle. Okay, so this line is 41.95. So you'd be able to figure that out. But if that's true, then why can't we do parallax measurements of the sun or the planets? Why not just take the angle of a planet? Why don't they do parallax of planets? I've never heard them even say that they do. Maybe they do. Parallax angle of Mars, let's just say. Because you should be, I mean, it should be, if you can do it with the stars, why couldn't you do it with Mars? Oh, well, the problem would be when you go to the different side of the orbit, Mars would be a way different place. Okay, that makes sense why you can't do it then. What would happen to a parallax angle of measurement of Mars? If we measured the parallax from, wait, what if you had two people on different ends of the Earth do it? The angle would have to be smaller because Mars is farther from the sun, so the star would also have to be farther away from Mars. Yeah, we know that. Is it easier to measure parallax on Mars? It would be more accurate to determine the parallaxes of stars, and thus their distances from the solar system, from the surface of Mars than from the surface of Earth. That's not what I asked. Maybe I'm asking that question wrong. I'll have to think about it. Because if you had two people, because, okay, let's say that they know that the distance between, what happened to my drawing pad's over here. No, where's that little triangle calculator? That's what I need. All right, so let's say that we know that the Earth is, now I'm really, yeah, you would have to do the diameter. So let's say you had two people at the ends of the Earth, meaning like this. So let's say here's your Earth. Oops, that's not a star. I mean, that's not a circle. You'd have to have this. Come on, I want a circle. Get out of here. Circle. Thank you. All right. So move there. So let's say this is the Earth here, and then you'd have somebody here measured. Sorry, that's not a line. You have somebody here measured to Mars and somebody from here, and then you could have a baseline of. You would have a baseline there of 8,000 miles, right? 7959. So let's just do back to the calculator here. Let's say we had that. 7959 would be our baseline. 7959, it would be half of that because we're going to take half of that. So 7959. And you want to take half, so 39. Okay. 39, what is it, 53? I don't even know the 39. I don't know what they say the radius is. 3955. Let's just do that. So if you had, come on, stop pressing that button. So if you had that, and then you were to be able to come up with angles of, again, this is going to be your 90, and then what is this person measure, and what does the other person measure? I don't even know what that would be. Probably, let's go like 87, just for example. Okay, and then you would have 3 degrees here. So I just want to see what that distance comes back, because that'd be 3,009. So it's 3958, right? I believe it's the correct number. And then calculate. So it's a little better of a triangle at least. And then it would show that the height of C was 75,000 miles. Yeah. So the angles would be even smaller on that. 75,000. We need to get up to whatever they say, a couple million. So then it must be like, again, even the planets then would be 89. What's 89 and 1? 226,000? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's no way I would believe that. There's no way I would believe they can calculate angles smaller than. Could they do a half a degree? Sure. Could they do a quarter of a degree? Probably. Can they do 1/60th of a degree? No. Can they do 1/3600th of a degree? Absolutely not. And that's what you need to. And then they're like act like they're so exact and everything. And how were they so wrong on Polaris? Polaris went from like changed by 300 light years, which is 300 times 6 trillion. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then get out even further, and you start having quintillions and quadrillions of miles. I ain't buying it. All right, let's go back to the show. We've got who do we have here? M Quas or something.
Cax. Good day, Jaron.
And sorry to keep you waiting. I was doing the little.
Oh, no problem.
Mental gymnastics.
I was muted probably because I tried to communicate something to you because you used the wrong calculator.
Okay, how so?
That's an equal distance, equilateral triangle. And that's a whole lot of calculation.
Well, but I put in 90 degrees.
Yeah, but can a triangle have 290 degrees? No, you got a bucket.
Right, so I never put in 290s.
No, it took off the bit. Okay, but still then it's technically on the calculations it needs to be equal distance of equilateral triangle as they call it. And for the Pythagoras theorem, you indeed need 190 degree corner.
Right.
Otherwise it does not work.
Which is why they take the angle from the sun to the star being 90, right?
And that's where they confuse people and they start, oh, it's math, it's difficult. No, listen to what they're saying. They're saying totally nothing. And I want to congratulate you and your team and Austin and everybody of the Globe Busters.
Thank you.
Because you received some mails, on the real tone deaf. It was not a complete data package, but you've handled the materials well, and I'm very proud and very happy to announce that you passed the first test.
Thank you.
And if I may, Otter, I know you got a lot of reach, David and Tammy, all of you. There is this guy, I sometimes speak on his show, and his son also got his own channel. His son's channel, I advise to go there because he speaks completely and correctly only lawful text, and he shows you every law text in every book, and he extrapolates for all you Americans how you are thinking that you are a citizen and that you live in the United States, that is a corporation. You and Bob talked about this in the past, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it with David? You handled that subject, at least. And his son, and it's under the... I'll mail it to you after we cut off, anyway.
Okay.
Burn the corporate fiction. So burn is a B is a capital letter, T is a capital letter from the, and then corporate is also the capital C. Fiction is also the capital letter F, and then burn the corporate fiction. That's his channel on the Rumble.
Okay.
And he is completely correct in word, and they cannot tackle him. It's funny to see how he gets into those lawful made texts that are deposed by your Congress, your government, and other representatives of you think you have as a citizen in your government. And he explains that quite well. And I would like to advise you or David or any of you or Witsit maybe. He's also one who reads a lot. And it's really dry to hear it, but
okay.
It takes sometimes 2-3 hours to get through 2 facts. And that's how difficult it is and how they describe it in legalese. That's the language for legal written word.
Right.
And then they got commissions that create those laws and check those laws. And you got your high court and your state courts. And he touches every subject. And For me, it's not a problem because I live in the Netherlands. It's in Europe, so it's a long, long way away. Excuse me. And I hope for him that he can get some views on it. His father also got a channel.
Okay.
It's some SSUMM369 is also a Tesla fan.
Okay. SSUM?
And SSUM, Simon, Uncle, Mike, and then 369.
Okay, got it.
And that's his channel. And sometimes there are great conversations on there. And yeah, as you all know, when you talk to those science guys, they go berserk. And that happens on there sometimes. And I get the format that the strife gets views. But most of the times I take a step back in those moments, and they like to bully a bit to the scientists because they understand, as you do, and David and Tammy and all of you do. Yeah, I understand your calculation, but your own calculation states you can only use it in this way, and you're using it in a different way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the exact rules. So you're saying because the triangle calculator I was using wasn't a 90-degree triangle?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That's not Pythagoras. And then you got the equal distance. So each side of that triangle, the sides are all the same size. Guess what the angle size is then?
Okay.
45 and 45 and 45.
Right, if they're all the same, yes.
Yeah. So do you need to calculate that? No. So why is that equilateral triangle calculator there?
Oh,
To
well, that's
confuse
just
you.
because you can put in whatever numbers you want there, though. Right?
Yeah, but when they're gonna talk on the subject in the college rooms,
Right.
you're gonna be pre-programmed to see that triangle and do not get the calculation. That's why
Gotcha.
so many people get lost in math, because they show you 3-4 symbols for the same calculation. Even for science, the what's it called? Sometimes I translate it and get stuck. For the stars, you got 3 divisions in science, and they all are
Absolutely.
compartmentalized.
Yes, got it.
And they all got their own equations, their own symbols, and they're all saying the same.
Right.
Get them all 3 in one room together and let them discuss each other. That's the biggest war you ever see.
Yeah. And that's why they don't do it. They don't even have them argue with each other. or anything.
Yeah, or those debates, those chats when they sit on the podium with 5 people and 2 journalists.
Right.
Yeah, that's so scripted.
Yeah, no, I mean, science is good at that, if anything, is they put together a pretty face. They don't argue with each other, even though they have vastly different beliefs. And, string theory, probably actual physicists think that's dumb as hell. Theoretical physicists probably think it's great. So again, but they would never publicly debate that because it would show that there's a lack of knowledge in science. So
Yeah, and it's the generational loss. We had the First World War, Second World War. So a lot of people that knew the correct way to calculate things, they didn't survive the war, or they had, or they fled away, and one of those things.
Yeah,
and that gave a large gap in knowledge. And then we got again the Roaring '60s, the generation that, the flower powers.
Yes.
Most of them didn't get into work until 75, 80s. And those people that dropped out of school, dropped out of university, that's our CEOs now. Now you get why everything's falling apart.
Yeah. All right, we got one person behind us, so wrap it up here. 30 seconds.
Thank you for having me on,
All
and I hope you give an insight, if you take a look at those 2 people, because they are doing with the tiny reach, they're doing great work.
Okay, I got both their site, and they're both on Rumble?
They're both on Rumble.
Okay.
They're also on YouTube, but you know how it goes.
I know how it goes.
Most of the time, they start the first hour on YouTube, and then they switch to the heavy stuff.
Probably good stuff to do. All right, appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jaron, and to all and your team, welcome to the flat surface.
Yes. Nix and Genta is going to close this out. No more calls, please. We're going to shut down the show. So if you call in, you're not going to get on. Nick, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Darren?
How are you?
Doing pretty good. That was interesting. You were talking about that red dragon thing.
Yeah,
earlier.
it's a very synchronicity there.
Yeah. I was in Utah not too long ago. Actually, I went there like 4 times this winter. That's the place to go in the winter.
Okay.
If you live in Colorado to get away from the snow, it's like going to the beach. It's awesome. But I went to this pictograph panel. It's called the Black Dragon Canyon Pictograph. I did a video for it actually, but it's insane. There's like a red dragon painted on the freaking wall there. It's like, how'd they know what a dragon would look like? I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, it could be interpreted as a dragon, or it could be something else.
Do you think dragons existed?
No.
No?
But I just think it's weird that you were saying all that, and I was like, wow, there was like this ancient dragon like painted on the wall there. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of crazy, and it's red too.
Huh. I tend to think dragons were real.
I mean, I really don't know.
Yeah,
I really didn't believe in the giant thing at all until like you said something about, maybe the floods caused all those canyons, and I was like, that makes actually, because I was like, well, how did that happen? Like, I don't believe water ran through there slowly over thousands of years and caused a giant like Grand Canyon. There's no freaking way.
And water's so powerful. They can like cut through anything with water.
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I'm saying. That
like
makes
the strongest drill bit there ever was is water.
Right. Or I was thinking maybe that was like mined out by giants or something.
Could be.
Like somebody came here and did something, because this is crazy. All these big giant canyons through here.
Yeah, I guess there's some people who believe the giants were like really big, but I don't know. I mean, I would just think that then it would be, you would maybe find a leg bone or something. I don't know. It's
something
huge.
like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean more than not like 12 feet. I do think they found like 12 feet ones. That's what I think the Smithsonian hides. But as far as like bigger than that, people talk about way bigger than that.
Yeah, I just think there would be more evidence.
I would think so too, especially if the Earth was populated or something with them. But again, I mean, the thing about the Earth being so big and the cataclysms that might happen here is that if you just had like a huge rush of water, and I know it's a weird thing to describe, but if you took kind of the flat Earth and moved it 180 degrees, just really quickly, just spun it, then you would have such an uproar of the water, right? The water would be, a huge wave that would cover the entire, I think it would just wash everything away. There wouldn't be, people are like, well, the buildings, houses would just be destroyed. Have you ever seen what happens during a tsunami? I mean, the water is the most devastating force ever. It just comes and just takes out everything. So if something like that crazy happened, and again, I don't believe you could spin the Earth that way, but I mean, I'm just saying as an example, that would cause what people, just everything being leveled. And the only way you would survive that is if you were underground somehow and were able to stay down there for a while.
Yeah, I've seen some flood damage here, like when I moved to Colorado, and yeah, it took out our roads for like 3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Flood. I mean, just like moved chunks of the road. I saw some of the craziest. Like, how'd this part of the road get like a mile down the road? I was like a big slab of it and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, the water just destroys everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I really just wanted to complain about all the space nerds out here that are
dorks
driving me insane. It's like you get the, I try to watch like mainstream people to get news and stuff. Oh, am I out of time?
Yeah, you can go ahead, keep going.
I'm out of time.
No, you can keep going. We'll finish off with you.
Well, I was just, it's like these people, they're starting to like discover that we're lied to about everything. Pretty much, the media lies about everything. Pharmaceuticals lie about everything. But it's like they still believe the space crap, and it's just like, dude,
so sad.
Why? It's like Timcast, for example.
Yeah, I don't understand.
The one Alex Stein was on.
Yes.
He was on one time, and they were arguing about space and all that, and they were just defending it.
Yep.
Like to the end.
Crazy.
They're on there. They're on there the other day talking about like the Tucker Carlson deepfake video. They're like, look at his eye right there. It's twitching. Like that's a fake video. Like that's a fake. But these people believe like that. 1969.
Yeah, they went to the moon.
It's like, jeez.
Or it's just, again, if they're lying about the things that are right in front of you, then to believe, but they're telling me the truth about the sky, I'll never be able to verify. It's just such idiocy.
I always comment that too. I'm like, yep, we're lied to about everything except for NASA.
Yeah.
And of course, we live on a spinning water ball in space.
Yeah, that's true.
In a
Yeah,
vacuum.
Right. Good luck. You're not going to catch me believing that. I mean, it's just, once you've lied to me, good luck. You're going to have to really go pretty hard and prove that you're not going to do it again, and they prove every day that they do. So
I can't believe people believe that
Me
we
neither.
landed on the moon.
It's crazy.
It's insane. Anyways, I went over my time.
All right, you have any final words?
No final words.
All right. Well, thanks, Nick. Appreciate the call. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. All right, guys, we're gonna close that out. Sorry about the. If you don't know what happened, I accidentally put on 360-degree video, I guess, on YouTube. I didn't know I did that, but it was stuck. So now it's stuck at 360. You can actually move your mouse around and you get a downward angle at me, which must be really cool. Thank you guys very much for all the support. I'm gonna go look at Rokfin and see if I got any tips, because I think that they did last show. No. All right. I can't go back in the shows. All right. Well, thank you, everybody who supported last show. If you did enjoy the show at all, and I entertained you at all, or the callers did, if you want to pull out your Cash App and send $1, that'd be great. You just go to Cash App, $Jeranism, send $1. You'll never notice it's missing. If you do notice it's missing, then that means you shouldn't be sending anybody $1. You should be saving it, and you probably shouldn't be listening to the show, to be honest with you. You should probably be out thinking about how you're going to earn more money. But again, this is the problem with this world, is the money. The world is run off money. It's disgusting, the things that people will do for money. People will throw their family under the bus. People will throw friends under the bus. People will steal from friends. They will step on people. They will step on people's necks. They will. This is why I've said before, if you're a CEO of a company, I can pretty much tell you you're a dirtbag, period. Now, again, if you have more than 50 employees, you've done some shady ass shit to get there, because you don't become, I know, being a store manager could I have become the CEO of CVS? Maybe, but you can bet your bottom dollar I would have lost my soul on the way there. So it just depends on how much you're willing to give up for that almighty dollar. And it's unfortunate that that's what you need to live, but it's created such a problem in this world. It's why the space agencies must continue, because they're a $450 billion industry a year. They're not going to give that up. Hollywood is like 100 and something. Video games is like 45. It's just, it takes video games, movies, music, blockbuster hits, Hollywood, home DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, home entertainment, apps, Spotify, Netflix, all music, all video games, all the apps, all the movies, all that combined does not equal the space agencies or the space economy. So they can't get rid of it. They have to keep this facade going. And you know how the great thing about humans is, like, no human has ever invented anything.
That's too much money,
Okay,
man.
so nobody invents anything. What I mean by that is that everything is done by the people before you. So nobody just says, I've got this idea, right? Nobody invented the video camera. That's why we don't hear, oh, this person invented the video, this person invented the camera. Well, nobody did. Because what happened was, at some point, there was a hole in a wall, and the light came through and put a picture on the wall, the fall wall of the house. And they're like, what the hell's going on here? Well, how did that happen? Somebody says, wait, is that because it's outside? Somehow the light brought that in here and put that on the wall? So they said, well, how can we keep that? Oh, well, they found some paper. They could put the paper on the back wall. And when they did it, all of a sudden, the imprint of what was outside showed up on the wall. So then they said, oh, well, then they kept making it smaller and smaller. And then somebody came along and said, wait a second, if I take these pictures that we're taking and I do them in succession and do like a flip book, it makes them move. So then they put them together and do a video camera. So all these things have been progressively added onto each other from the time before, right? So that's how we kind of get by. Well, what NASA did is they completely stopped the evolution of human thought. They completely destroyed our growth potential, because now they've taken it and made it for themselves and said, we go to space and there's not even people who can design anything. So now humanity's just fucking stuck. And we're all just wandering around, hating each other, watching the news, falling for propaganda, sickening, watching porn. Now nobody's a good lover anymore. Now women hate men. Men are upset at women. It's just a disgusting aftermath. And you know whose fault it is? It's the ones who stopped human growth, or evolution, if you want to call it that. How did they do that? They stole the mind of humans. That everything that's ever been built has been built by the mind of somebody who thought outside the box. Everything. And in fact, most inventions are accidental. Okay, most of the time, like the camera. Nobody's ever thought, I'm going to make a movie camera. That's not how things are invented. So what they did is by getting in front of everything, creating a education system that is meant to dumb and retard you. It's meant to create these know nothing, like Red's rhetoric. That's what the school system is meant to outbreak. What do they get? They get a mouthpiece who will promote and defend their bullshit math when it's just, what good does it do? Oh, I can film rockets go to space. Cool. That's what the extent of human ingenuity is. Oh, I'll show you one thing and then we'll be done. I want to show you what in my mind, the extent of human ingenuity is, or where we got stuck and why we can't move on now, is because they've really just destroyed the growth of people. Because there is no such thing as space travel. There is no such thing as going to these planets and measuring small angles. They've just got people spinning their wheels. And if you look, like, nothing's being done. Nothing's being done in space. What are we doing? They're just providing you with more and more fake imagery. Oh, this is a black hole. Oh, this is these outside planets. None of it matters. It's absolutely worthless to humanity. The fact that anybody thinks, as soon as they tell you, oh, by the way, those stars are 25 trillion miles away. Say, excuse me? 25 trillion. Okay, then we should never fucking look at them again. Take your equipment home, get your telescopes out of the sky. You're wasting time, you're wasting money. Because it would take, again, going 100,000 miles per hour, okay? Every hour of every day, not pissing, not shitting, not any, you're driving this craft 100,000 miles per hour. To get to the closest star would take you 28,000 years. That means stop looking there. Stop it. Knock it off. You're just wasting time and wasting money and building dreams. And now everybody wants to go to Mars. This is how fucked up this country is, or this world. People want to go to Mars, where there's no air and no water and no animals and no plants and no food and nothing. There's nothing there. It's like a barren place, they even tell you. And people are so fucking dumb. They're like, I want to get out of this earth. I want to go to Mars. Well, because they did that. They've done that to you. It's disgusting. And it makes me very upset at what we have to look forward to. Because what do we have to look forward to if this is, I mean, they're never going to go to a star. They're never going to take people. Who wants to go to a fucking planet? Again, let's say that was real. You went to Mars. Cool. Nobody. So 99.99999% of the world will never go to Mars. So what are we doing? It's absolute. And this is why you've got people now who are stuck watching TV. Now they think that they think, I'm a guy, but I can be a girl. Thank God that my parents, or no, not my parents, but my teachers or the media, we all were uncomfortable with our bodies at some point in our past. We all felt weird in our own skin. But nobody was telling me, Jaron, you might be feeling that way because you're actually supposed to be a girl. Because I could see my 4-year-old or 5-year-old or 6-year-old self being like, maybe I'm supposed to be a girl. My sister's a girl. I should be a girl too. And what if I would have cut my junk off? Can you imagine? The thought, oh my goodness. Oh boy. And this is what they're doing to children now. They are encouraging it. There's even bills where, like, you don't have to tell your parents. They could just go give them. It is disgusting. Keep that. And again, if you're an adult and you want to go dress as a woman, you do that. You do you. Go ahead. Do not bring it to schools. Do not bring it to the youth. Do not bring it to the TV. I mean, you yourself have to know that something's off there. And yet, look at what it's just frustrating to me that this world is so far gone, and I don't know how we get it back, to be honest with you. I guess you just keep speaking out, and you hope that there's some event that kind of wakes everybody up. I think COVID was important. I mean, I look at it and I say, how many people after COVID were former anti-vaxxers who are now pro-vax? How many people? The answer is probably 0. Okay. So the anti-vax movement lost nobody. And yet, how many people before COVID were pro-vax and now are not? And there's a ton. So essentially, they hurt themselves with this pandemic. They lost a lot of numbers. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once, trying to search for something at the same time as talking. I'll find it. It's way down here. And this, by the way, is Odyssey. If you don't go to Odyssey, Odyssey's got all my stuff. I have all these people, all these globers, stupid idiots are like, oh, you took down your moon transit video. Oh, I wonder what that says. I'm like, dude, every video I've done is up here at Odyssey. What do you mean? I took them down because Bart Cybrell gave me 2 strikes and was threatening to give me a 3rd one, and I took all my videos down. That's why it's not up there. Again, they're like, oh, you took it down. You must be, it's admitting. I'm like, no, come here. All the videos I've done are here. You want to find my moon transit and my sun transit video? Come here and look. They're here. But I'm trying to look for, what would this be? 2017. Just want to kind of show you real quick. Kind of what I think has been stolen. Here it is. So out in front of my house, in 2017, we had the Salinas Air Show, which from Friday to Sunday, we were able to watch it from my front yard. You know, this is just going on. This is the F-22. And look at this thing going upside down. Look at this thing. Floating. This is so incredible to see. So incredible. And this is so much more fucking real than the space shuttle, than the ISS. Those are just make-believe. These guys are actually flying high-performance craft, and they're barely going like 1,500 miles per hour. Think of what a joke it is that they have to believe that there's somebody going 17,500 miles per hour. Get the fuck out of town. This is legit. Okay, I'm able to go out and watch this, and these guys aren't flying off into the clouds and then me having to go inside and watch on TV what they do and being like, I'm going to defend this because I see them fly off into the clouds. No, I'm watching this right in front of me. This is right in front of me happening. Another thing that I think is very telling is you'll notice when this plane comes near me, so watch it come kind of close to me, and you're going to see the size of it change. And it gets really, really big as it gets close to me. And then when it goes away, it gets small as a dot. And this craft is moving, maybe, I don't know how fast it's going around here, 600 miles per hour, maybe. I don't know. But watch how quickly the size changes when the thing flies away from you. Well, why did we watch NASA's stuff? They don't change very fast. It's because they're not going nearly as fast as they say. Nearly. I mean, look at it. It's barely gone away from me now, and it's like smaller and smaller. Look at this thing. Watch this thing. This thing's going straight up in the sky. And watch it do a hover. Straight up, and it's going to stop up there and hover. Look at this. Incredible. Look at that. That's so fucking badass. I mean, you could not, I don't know if you paid me $1 million if I'd get in that plane. That's so crazy. I mean, I don't know how those guys don't puke or pass out or fucking, I don't know. But I just think the sad thing is this is the greatest thing that humans do right now. They'll have you believe, though, that we're landing craft on Mars and remote controlling it. And we got satellites up there and we can go land satellites on these asteroids and we can mine asteroids and we're going to go to the moon. And it's just all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You watch these guys and these guys are probably fucking studs compared to Neil and Buzz. This guy's not going to sell you a quarter and be like, oh, I had this quarter in my pocket when I went on that flight that I do every day when I go to these Blue Angel things and these air shows. No. Buzz Aldrin, he'll sell you anything he can out of his pocket. Oh, I had this 1980s quarter when I went to the moon. Buzz, it's 1980. Yeah, but they came out early, I guess. Oh, all right. 11 years early when you went? All right, cool. Yeah, go put it up at an auction. It'll fetch $60,000 from some idiot. Go ahead. But it's just crazy. I was watching this the other day and I just remembered how, I mean, look at these guys corkscrewing. And to think that then they're like, oh, but sometimes we launch rockets and those go 17,500 miles per hour. And they just do spinning things in space. I mean, it's just so dumb. Whereas this is absolutely incredible. Engineering, ingenuity. These crafts go so fast. Again, they go about as fast as a bullet, whereas the ISS goes like 15 times the speed of a bullet. Yeah, right. With people in it. Mm-hmm. With 65-year-old ladies. Put that bitch from NASA in this plane. Peggy Whitson or whatever. 65 years old, just going to space, going, oh, you just sit through all these G's. Yeah, right. I want to see her in this thing. She'll die. She'll die. But you can tell when you're there. It's hard to even see. But when it gets close to you, it's like huge. When it goes far away, it gets very, very small. And again, that's because that's how Parallax works. But if you think about like NASA stuff, I don't see the rocket get that much smaller. Now, the camera's following you, but that's why the camera follows it. See? If the camera stays zoomed into the same distance, you just see the craft moving away. You don't even think about the fact of if it's moving away, it should be getting very small, very fucking fast. If a plane moving away from me within 10 seconds gets to be 1/10 of the size because it's moving 600 miles per hour, well, what about NASA's craft moving way faster than that and supposedly going way further? Again, and then out of nowhere there comes this plane, and then these guys just start flying around together. It's incredible. I mean, to me, the fact that they can look at these guys right on top of each other. And actually, the day of the actual event, this was just practice. They were just out practicing. Oh, if you want to hear it, it's so freaking loud. Oh, I forgot there's music with it. But I'm going to show you what happened on the day of the event. Oh, look at that. Watch that. So crazy to me. They go straight up. And then, I mean, that is, look, he's corkscrewing on the way up there. That is so cool. Oh, I guess there's a better picture for you. I'll do this one. Wait, is that better? Or is this one? No, it's a little bigger. It's probably easier. So then, I mean, and then I just like, that's so cool. So replay, move all the passes. I want to show you the actual day. There was 3 of them. I don't remember the other 2 kinds. But yeah, this is just for my front. It's why there's all these wires right from where I lived, the front yard. Yeah, look at these 3. Was that the one of 3? Or 2? I can't see. 2. And at times it looked like they were like literally right on top of each other. Death wishes, these people, I guess. Or just trusting. I'm assuming it's just all computer flown. I don't know. I don't think they have to hold a certain degree or something, or angle. Look at this thing, hovering, going straight up. That's insane. I don't know how those don't stall or something. I mean, it just seems like you wouldn't be able to do that. But I mean, look at this guy. That's just going. He's going hella slow, just like flying into the atmosphere. I mean, that's insane. He actually gets to a point where you can't even really tell he's moving. And this is all them practicing. This is the day of. So then the day of the air show, these 3 guys get together. I forgot what the other 2 crafts were. I know this one's the Tomcat F-22, or I mean the F-22 Raptor. And then there's a Tomcat, and I don't know what this little biplane is here, or what the 2 things. But it's just incredible. Anyway, it's sad because these guys are probably the guys that should be celebrated as heroes or doing them, but instead we have astronauts floating around like playing with water. You think these motherfuckers are playing with water? You think they're making bubble waters and talking to kids in school? No. Because one is real and one is propaganda. That's why. Pretty sad. All right, guys. Much love to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Jeranism Show, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you want to get a hold of me, t.me/Jeranism. If you want to always get notified when I go live, t.me/Jeranism Show. If you want to check out some links, t.me/Jeranism links. If you want to get in on the chat, which is a little crazy because it's not always quite moderated, t.me/Jeranism chat. And I'm going to be making a new one, and it's going to be very specific because what I need is something that's easily searched that has a bunch of, because I always have, where's this? I need this. So I'm going to make a channel. I believe I'm going to use the live one, the one that's right now, Jeranism Live. I'll probably change that its name. And then what I want to do is I'm going to load videos and I'm going to load websites, whatever I need to load there. But then I'm going to make sure I tag it really well so I can always go back and search and find things. And I'll get that out to people where they can do the same. And even if people are good at it, I don't mind adding more administrators that can, what are they called? Admins or whatever, that can actually add to it. So once somebody's good at uploading videos. So for instance, Rob Skiba's video that shows the boat going away on the flat table and disappearing. Like people always ask me for that. And I got to go to Rob's channel and search. I got to go to 5 years ago. And so I'd rather have a Telegram channel that has that in there that I can just go and search for, ship, table, Skiba, whatever. And all these things come up. Kind of like what happens with my book collection, which if you don't know about that, go to shop.jeranism.com and purchase the $20 access to the library. There's 2,700 ebooks there. You'll never need another ebook in your life. So much to read there and great stuff. I mean, the flamenco books alone, if you bought those from Amazon, are going to cost you about, I don't know, $500, $600, $700, $800 to buy the whole set. All of them are in the library. Look at that. Sorry about the filming. I wasn't not very good at it. That was 2017. I think I'd be better today, but maybe not. And I didn't have that good of a camera either. Just crazy. So anyway, to all the astronauts that lie to everybody and tell them that they're doing things that they're, look at that plane. It's like a bird. Crazy. You guys are scumbags. That's all I gotta say. scumbags for making pretend and telling children that they can do these things and reach for the stars. And yeah, reach for the stars you'll never get to, and reach for Mars that you'll never get to. And everything is meant to make you a debt slave. Everything is meant to make you. And here's the even worse part. I sometimes am starting to think that there is more land, and that the big scam here is this is heaven on earth, that we are God, that we are co-creators. We are supposed to come here and enjoy life, and it's supposed to be abundant, and everything we could ever need is here. And some assholes, some parasites, wrapped it around in a ball, and again said, let's just tell them they only live here and everything's been discovered. And if we do that, then they'll work for us. They'll make our shit. We'll make our cars. They'll make our planes. They'll make our homes. And we might only get one chance here. Imagine that. And we're sitting around and we're arguing with each other and fighting with each other. And it's all because these parasites at the top want that exact thing. As long as we're doing that, we're not turning around and going and knocking their fucking heads off, which is what should happen. I have every right to all the things on earth as they do. They don't have any more divine right than I do. And yet they control me. They're in charge of me. No fucking way. No fucking way. So we can sit around for the rest of our lives and be like, oh, this sucks. And I hate this place. And where are we going to move? And I got to go pay my taxes. And look at all that we do for money. Money is a joke. Money is a lie. Fiat currency is a lie. Fiat means out of nothing. From air, from nothing. It means nothing. And yet they've made a world where we need it to survive. So in my mind, there's another world. They just hid it from us. So I'll get there. I'll get there. And make sure my son doesn't have to go through the same bullshit I did, So guys, do your own research. Please. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till tomorrow, 3 p.m., Jeranism Show, the flagship show for this very awesome station. Again, your support is greatly helped or greatly needed. Can't do this without it. If it gets too much worse, I'm 2 months in a row of being under what I need to live. Luckily, we had a little savings, but it's running out. So if we have to go back and do what we had to do, what are you going to do? You got to take care of your family first, and so be it. But I know that now it's not. I used to feel like, oh, if I leave, who's going to? There will always be somebody to pick up this ball and run, because once you become a flat earther, you can't again go back to the lie. No way. You can't believe that there's these spinning planets, and it doesn't even make sense anymore. Oh, the gas pulled to the center. How did the gas know to pull to the center? Why, if I go put gas in a vacuum right now, it doesn't pull to the center. It goes in every direction. It would never go to the center. How would it do that? Oh, but that's how stars are made. Oh, sure they are. I believe you. Guess what? Don't trust liars. Liars are dirtbags. And if you have the opportunity, kick them square in the nuts. Do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Jeranism. Much love to you guys. Peace.